games, and then somehow made it personal by saying that everyone knows he's way better than me. So I was like, all right, let's 1v1 it out. So here we are. 11 EST on a Friday, about to 1v1 it out. See if he really is way better than me.
All right, Limp, what do you think about that?
I think that sounds just about right. Who would you say was the instigator for this then? Would you say that it was definitely Asmodian, or do you think that this was something you really wanted to have happen?
I mean, honestly, I didn't plan on ever 1v1 challenging anyone for the rest of the games live, but he decided to just make it personal. So I was like, all right, let's do it. I don't know why he decided to get mad about it, but
what do you think is your strength going into this?
I don't know any specifics, honestly. I played Eastwind and Tiri earlier. Went 5-2 against Eastwind, 2-2 with Tiri. My record GKG 7-7, so I have plenty of 1v1 experience with good players. So that's really it.
Yeah, just to call out, I've updated the Twitch to show the pregame preparation. Now, both players were playing a little bit later in the day. Those wins and losses aren't captured, but LSO racked up a pretty impressive 16-8. 3 of those losses were to Jarl, and 2 of them were to Blade. I don't know which of those is worse. But he did go 2-0 versus
Blade was on the line.
5-1 versus Eastwind, and 2-2 versus Tiri, I gotta say. So one last question to LSO, and I think we can kick it over to Asma. Lim?
Is there a next question?
Oh, for me. Yeah. So going into this, do you feel like you have a specific strength on light maps versus dark maps? Because from my summation, it would be that you're stronger on light, Asmo is stronger on dark.
I would honestly agree with that, yeah. Except for Gyre and the Wave. That's probably my most 1v1 map in all time.
That's your best, you think, personally?
One of. It's definitely the one I played the most out of all 1v1.
Do you like to employ a lot of mauls and no Solus, or do you actually purchase Solus?
I don't purchase either.
Look, this is some illegal scouting by an Asmodian teammate. I'm not going to allow it. What I will say is one last final question. LSO, would you prefer a coin flip or a 1v1 UT on raid match to determine first pick?
How about a World War II one?
Okay, both of those options are on the table only if Asmo agrees. So we're going to table that for now.
We'd both do the one with the one soldier.
We'll do raid.
Asmo says raid. Okay, we'll come back to you, Elsa. We'll make a final decision offline. We got to keep this moving. Looking at Asmo's prep matches as we shift over to interview him. Tougher competition, I wouldn't say so. Winning record against Sen. Sin is a good player. Certainly, one wouldn't argue that he's at EW or Tiri's level. But he did have a lot of matches where he went a little bit less than even with HMB in Paris. And we did see him have a really high and low moment against our good friend Shyster just now. So with that, I'm going to turn this over back to Limp and Wayward One to interview Asmodian.
Lead it off, Limp. I'm going to think of a good one for Smo.
I've actually got a question for him, if I may interject, Limp.
Do it,
Blade, I didn't even realize you were here.
Yeah,
I get that all the time. Asmodian, my question for you is, what kind of implications does the series have for the rest of MWC? Hot Squad and Mystery Men. I mean, they're going to be top teams here. I imagine this is a pretty important series.
Well, we know that Tiri is known for team changing all the time, so as soon as he sees his captain defeated, we'll take out their biggest threat.
Oh, so that's the objective here.
I'm metagaming. I'm trying to win Mithril Cup right now, not just the 1v1.
Wow, well, you heard it, folks. This is much bigger than the $300 prize. This is for Myth World Cup 2020.
This is the battle for Tiri's soul, essentially.
Exactly.
I will say, I think $300 coincidentally is the largest cash prize for any 1v1 match in all of Myth's history. Which,
absolutely,
given the participants, is an absolute crime. Limp, back to you.
Well, let's not kid ourselves though. Clank here. This is absolute chump change, and I'm willing to Increase the prize pool depending on the level of play. If Asmo shows me something, there's nothing saying that I might not just slap a little Trace Hundos on the table just by myself. So I really want to see some competition out there tonight. I really like the way Asmo has stopped box clicking quite so much. Still pretty noobish. I'm expecting LSO to actually use modern tactics where you use presets. But nonetheless,
he only knows modern tactics. He hasn't been around long enough to know anything else.
So
and shots fired,
guys. I gotta rein this back in. Clank is apparently not aware of the way this works. He's on a pregame content, and we're trying to interview the participants before they go off back to the locker room for last-minute preparations. So I'm gonna hand this back.
I got a question for you, Asmo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there anything from your extensive history of captaining really good players? Is that bringing any kind of advantage to you in a 1v1?
Absolutely not.
Good answer.
No, I think the only advantage I have is I've been in like 4 or 5 matches like this with money on the line before.
Ooh.
But I guess we don't have money in it ourselves, so there's probably less pressure than there would be in that situation.
Listen,
we
all
don't
know
put
that,
down 150 or anything, so
it's not too late. You can put money in as well,
guys.
Asmodian,
All right.
if I'm not mistaken, you've been quoted as saying that pressure is something that makes you better.
That is true, and you will see in the results tonight.
What a great one to end these interviews on. I want to thank you both for showing up. We're going to kick out all but 3 folks from the Discord to try to keep this thing under control as we move forward. One last question for both of you. Asmo, I think I heard you say that you would, of the 3 choices, World War II, raid, or coin flip, your preference is raid. Is that correct?
I'll do either other than World War II because you've seen me play that.
I actually showed that
I'm not
clip on
great at it
screen,
either.
and I'm going to show it again in the last 10 minutes here before we go live. I'm going to kick it over to LSO. So choice is yours. You can either coin flip it, or you can play Asmo in a 1v1 on raid with unit trading turned on.
Okay, so for the record, I'm horrible at raid, but I think that'll be more fun than on an online coin tip. So even though he'll probably win the raid game, I'll do the raid one.
It's nut raid, by the way.
No, I said UT is on. It is absolutely.
No, we're mert gianting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which
there's
throws
no quarter
LSU
bitches in this one.
Yeah, it throws his excuse out the window because Limp and I know that he's been training with us while we were drunk, taking advantage of Mal's leisure, however you pronounce his name, hiding in the corner for weeks. Okay, thank you to Elso and Asmo. This concludes the pregame interview session. We've got about 17 minutes. So LSO, glad you got permission to be here tonight. Go make sure you're going to have some pretty undivided attention. Asmo, on your side, we know that Myth 2 Soulblighter Pride is more valuable than any money could ever be to you. So I'm really thoughts and prayers on your side tonight. And we will see you out there. We're going to take a quick break. During that break, I am going to play a special video brought to you by Asmo trying to play World War II.
Excellent.
Yo, Kramer, can I suggest maybe a longer stream delay? I don't trust either of these guys. I don't know. They're going to stream tonight for sure.
Yeah, I only have one monitor, so
I don't actually know
I'm
how
not
to
gonna
do
stream
anything right now. So if you could, let me play this video, and then we'll go from there.
I don't even have Chrome open right now.
I thought that there was a 30-second stream delay. Is that no longer the case?
It's like 5 seconds. It seems like it's pretty short. Maybe even less.
I mean, it might help you with your unit trading, but
I mean, I think we're both pretty set on what we're gonna trade for on what map.
I don't think either of them are going to do it. This is adrenaline projecting.
Yeah. I'm not gonna streams tonight.
Oh,
It would probably be more distracting.
Did it again. Interesting. Oh no, I just need to click over to game profile. Oh, here we go. Okay, for you loyal viewers who stuck with us through that advertising break. By the way, thank you to our sponsor, G Fuel. We are now going to watch what happens when a reg player tries to come into the domain of one of the greatest World War II players to play in the year 2020, and that's saying something.
Who, Kruniak? Oh, sorry.
That's not even the real Kruniak. It's an imposter.
That was a good
Everyone
attempt.
knows. Okay, so what you're seeing here is Asmodian trying to flank and steal my flag with 3 soldiers. That's 15% of the enemy army. Typically, in this case, it's actually 21%. I'm over
Do you
here
want them to be so close?
Pardon?
Do you want them to be together so much?
That is a big no.
The soldiers? No, not at all.
So what happens is
Strength in numbers.
Hey, so Karma, your streak. Oh my God! Nice nade.
oh man, and then the message here, as you see in the bottom left. I wish I could zoom in. Asmo needs to stick to reg.
Your stream it has like your myth window and then like another one behind it, a little more zoomed in. Is that intentional, fine, or like are you aware?
Don't know what that means.
on the Twitch view.
Yeah.
Like there's
LSO
the
is
game.
clearly not focused on the match tonight, so I'm gonna go ahead and bet on Asmo. I'm gonna go ahead and bet all the marbles on it.
Okay. All right.
All right, so I'm gonna do a test to
pointing
see if
out,
I can tell what LSO is talking about.
Let's see if it changes. Okay, never mind. Now it's myth and then it's black background. So that's. I guess it was just something happened when you played the World War II video.
Okay, well, good to know.
I'm
how do
hoping
I
we
change
can trust
the
this guy
delay?
for good games tonight.
Team, how do I change the delay here? I need my tech support team to step up.
It looks great to me. I think you're
It
doing
looks
a good
fine.
job.
It looks good.
Yeah, but somebody told me I needed to add no, that's not it. Stream
Your
delay.
lobby is
enable.
your
Okay,
lobby
I'm gonna put on a 1 minute stream delay.
Your
Beautiful.
lobby is really, really tiny in the top left corner too.
But no one cares about the lobby, bro. And anyway, I'm gonna have it on screen.
I mean, like when your game gets minimized.
No, I understand, but let me just give you a sneak peek of what we're gonna be looking at here. It's gonna be screens making fun of our contestants. So we're not gonna be seeing the lobby, but we'll get there. You just prepare for the game, okay?
All right.
Karma, I wonder if we can hide that bottom bar. I don't know if I just missed that part of the. But during the game, it's like very distracting.
So I could remove it, but then it's
I
just
would
gonna
say
be
show it during intermissions. Like it's nicer just to have that.
Yeah. So if we do it that way, so I'll show you what this would look like.
Oh, you're not taking us out of there. You got to keep those faces.
Oh, of course.
So Karma.
Yeah.
And that's not even the
might I
real
suggest-
Clank.
I mean,
That's
Karma,
why
I'm not-
everybody's here.
Is somebody recording this?
Yes, I am recording this because our friends in Finland, bless
All
their
two of
hearts,
them.
were unable to get up at 6 a.m. And really, they were going to be crushed if they didn't see this amazing content and production value.
Dude, we are crushing records for spectator views here. I mean, 19? That's
Yeah.
Hey, 216 total views. So that's insane.
gonna
That's
need
twice
a-
3 people in the
that's
Discord.
probably Karma closing his window and reopening several times, trying to set this up.
So
I
Karma,
have
we're going to
7
need you
first-
between games to basically reach out to individuals for who's going to do color commentating with you and Clank each game. I recommend probably all of us should mute our microphone.
But stay.
In the midst of that.
That's a good idea.
LSO, you just need to bow out right now.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
go ahead
gonna
and
I'm
use
gonna
your
duck.
shit.
I'm gonna go get some
Yeah.
drink and then I'll come back.
So
Get
guys,
some
here's
Gatorade, dude.
my
will.
ask. Let's all claim a game. We got 7 games. Clank and I are leading the show here as sponsors. Blade, you get to be in as many or as little as you'd like as a co-sponsor.
Sideline
And
reporter.
then we've got special guests.
I choose 5.
Okay.
Game 5.
So who
Okay,
would like game 1? Or game 1 could just be Clank and I feeling it out, setting the tone, really putting it all out there.
We can see how awkward or not awkward it gets. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so we got the Clank and Karma show, 2006 style, not
Dicks on the
2007. No one wants to see that.
Y'all just bring me in. Y'all bring me in when you think the wayward one needs to be brought in.
Blade, do you have a preference for game as a co-sponsor and co-contributor of nothing but $100 like Clank?
That's all I've contributed. Yeah. Maybe games 2, 4, and 7.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and just break it to Blade, but whenever PG is played, we're gonna be going to Blade.
He was on. He was on when we made that joke.
I'm gonna be the Baron.
Yeah. Well, Clank wanted you to be a peasant, and I upgraded you to Baron. I'll just throw that out there.
Clank.
Okay, so Adren, game 3 or 6.
Or if Winter is played, then Adren gets to commentate for Winter.
Why the fuck would anybody choose
Because
Winter?
you're a fucking Canuck. That's why, bro.
I get the reasoning, but why would anybody pick Winter is my question.
Okay, beside the point.
'Cause
Game
it's
3
the
or 7.
greatest strategic map.
I thought I was doing post-game analysis.
Oh, you can also Adren can also stay along and then just join the desk after each game for like a quick 30 second to 1 minute analysis of the previous game. Would you rather do that?
Do an intermission round table for interested parties.
Yeah, after 3 games, we'll do an intermission and we'll all chat. Adren is going to do the post game, so that leaves WWO. You are going to be game 3 and game 6.
Sweet.
I wouldn't mind commenting on trades too. I don't know.
I think that we should cut to Adrenaline anytime there's like a bad myth physics.
Okay, so here's
his take on that.
Yeah. Here's what we're gonna
Anytime
do.
an excuse can come into play.
We're gonna set the PT at 3 minutes. Adren will be in the whatever fucking voice chat for PT, and he's got 2 minutes to critique each Mythos trade and to make a prediction on who's gonna win, and then he drops out, and he comes back in the post game to explain why he was fucking wrong and why it wasn't his fault.
So drop out or just mute?
Well, so here's the thing. If you're in, because I've added a minute delay, if you're not in the game, if you're not commentating or in the game, you should be watching the stream, because otherwise, if you're on the Discord chat, you're going to be hearing chat 1 minute before it is on Twitch.
Yeah, I would highly recommend that anybody that's not in the game not be on the Discord chat, because it's just going to kind of be weird for you.
Yeah, I'll just stay as a spec in the game and mute myself. I think that's easier, no?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Wait, do that again. So if we're commenting, we should be watching the Twitch stream, right?
Yes. So if you're,
Why is that funny? Shut up.
True story. So if you are not in the game as a commentator, so Limp, every game at game 5, you should be chilling in the main MWC Discord lobby, hyping the match and watching it on Twitch. Not in this voice Discord.
Because the delay would mess you up, Limp. Like, there's going to be a 1 minute delay on the stream, and so...
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, I'm just going to mute
it wasn't you.
and
It was
shut
it was
everything up.
the old.
I don't get why we all just don't stay in the game and mute ourselves.
Yeah, let's just do that.
That's what I'm going to do.
I don't trust you people.
Because then
like,
we won't have you hyping in the lobby. Like, we need you to hype.
And
I can do both.
You can switch between lobbies. You're not
Yeah,
bound
I
to
have
one lobby.
I have a phone and a computer, so it's fine.
I feel like I don't
Yeah.
trust you people not to just talk when it's not your turn. And this is really a
Oh, that's what I was saying. What I was saying was like we should mute our microphones when it's not our turn. Like this.
Hey, watch this.
See how
I
my
can do it
box was
too.
red?
Yeah, but
So we should do that as an honor system, so we don't have to keep rejoining the chat every time it's someone's turn.
that
Karma,
implies I think
just
you have
boot
honor.
somebody that fucks up. If somebody fucks up, just boot them.
I think
Correct.
that's fair. That's fair.
This is easy. This is like kindergarten level tech. If somebody talks and they're not supposed to be talking, just boot them.
Yeah,
That's
we're
fair.
all adults here. I think we can stick to that.
Just to summarize, if you're announcing, watch the Twitch stream on the Discord voice.
What, Blade? That's
Oh,
entirely
no,
backwards.
Blade, Jesus Christ.
This is why we can't have nice things.
We're live right now in front of 20 viewers, and Blade is embarrassing himself and all of us.
Yeah, that's just embarrassing, Blade.
You guys in the game?
Has this been hosted yet? No, eh?
Okay, so I am gonna go into a different
TV makes
room.
a good point. TV makes a good point. So basically, when every game starts, we should identify who is in that game.
Yeah, Karma's going to announce before the game who is going to be on there because it's going to be Clank and Karma, and Clank and Karma will say, and joining us for this game is blank. And if your name isn't blank, then you mute your fucking mic.
Yep.
Or else. ...
All right, it's about time. You might want to put that host up.
So I've
T-minus 4
hosted. The password is presets, so we're gonna need to share that with our contestants.
Should the sponsors, should we all put up the money beforehand so that they know that this is for real, or?
So I have told Asmo and LSO that in the unlikely event there is an issue, with sponsorship money. As in Clank's not actually a doctor, he's fucking lying to us this whole time. We've been honoring him for nothing.
That's a strong possibility, by the way. Strong possibility.
Hey, just to reiterate, we are doing at the start of the first game, we're going to have 30 seconds of no movement for healthcare frontline workers. Is that correct?
Each game.
Yes,
correct.
both players, LSO
Have agreed.
and Asmo agreed to sit for
Not even to
LSO
heal
compromise.
pus. Like, you
we're
can't
gonna
even
do
heal.
15 seconds. We're gonna do
Yeah,
15 seconds.
The only
Since
thing you
one
can do
whole
is
circle
cheer.
out, Jesus.
The only thing you can do is cheer, and that's final.
I think before each game, we should also lie down for 9 minutes. No,
It's amazing. It's amazing how many comedians are trying to launch their career with this shit.
I wasn't even trying to be funny. I was serious.
All right, so
Black methods matter.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself. So good
yeah,
luck.
we're getting started here. Twitch
God
chat.
bless.
Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to link my OnlyFans in the post-game YouTube video, so please donate. In this game, commenting for game one, you're going to have Karma, that's me, and Myth's second favorite healthcare professional, Clank. Clank, tell everyone
That's
hello.
me. Hello, everyone. Someday I hope to reach the level of Zacnafine and essentially take piss samples from the wiener to the lab. But until then, I'll have to just settle for being a measly doctor. Let's go ahead and get the action started off. Do we have a host?
Yeah, the people are in the game, Clank. I wish you would get with the program.
I'm not seeing. Oh, we're in a different lobby. That is the main issue. Okay, the password is presets. Clank will get with the program, and he's with the program. And
hey, I don't know that I would say the password out loud on a live broadcast if I were you,
on a live
Clank.
stream.
Like,
Whoops,
just suggesting.
Whoops.
I'm pretty sure you've already said it out loud on a live stream
Hey,
about
mute your
5 minutes
bitch
ago.
ass. Mute your
We haven't even
bitch
started yet.
ass.
What the fuck?
That's a fair
Mute your
point
bitch ass.
Adrin makes, but no one else caught it, so I don't know why you would bring it up.
So, anyways,
Apparently,
back to the people.
the delayed stream has not worked. Apparently, because LSO is responding in real time. Which LSO, by the way, I'm going to be saying a lot of very mean things about you. I don't think that you want to have this stream up. So before we get into this, we're going to do a quick pregame show here where we take a look at our two contestants. We'll be doing this intermittently throughout the draft. We're going to do a quick review of Asmo first. First, I'm going to direct your attention to the bottom right center of your screen where you have Asmodian's Myth resume. Now, I will have you know that this is a game that's been around since 1998. Asmo starts his resume in the year 2013. And I just want to tell you that as a person that knew Asmo from 2004 through 2012, I couldn't agree more. I think this was the right choice by Asmo to focus on his success period in that time.
Yeah. Bravo. Truly a lot of good accomplishments. Granted, most of the good players, except for psychos like GKG and Adren, had moved on. But nonetheless, pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. You're seeing a lot of Myth World Cup wins there. Granted, he was mostly capping better players. He likes to box click. We've established that. But I'm excited to see where this goes.
And we see a lot of shit talk here. I'm not going to lie. We see LSO, I've stomped you so many times. I don't need to prove it. There's only 2 maps LSO will beat me on. So I'm expecting a 4-2 win for Asmo at this point. And only GKG has a bigger impact on the game than our dear friend Asmo.
I mean, that's putting it all on the table. As one of the kings of shit talk, I can't help but be in awe. I don't even think that I have the cojones to say something like that, at least not with any degree of seriousness. But Asmodian just going for it.
Yeah.
Let's see where it takes him tonight.
Props to him, honestly. Switching over to our good friend LSO, who's really been caught out of the of nowhere on this one. Look at the top left. This is his description of how this whole thing came up. Everyone knows I'm way better than you, said Asmo to him out of the blue. Even though they have an even record in 2-team tournaments. He confidently tells Thierry he's not going to lose. Got permission from his mom not only to text 35-year-old men, but to hang out with us on a Friday night. Also has a pet rat, and you can see his description of his myth resume, which is not as impressive, but it's not nothing. There's some serious wins there in multiple different tournaments.
Yeah, but in the true battle, the battle of who's had sex, he undoubtedly loses, and that's going to be a major problem for him tonight. He's never gotten his dick wet.
I don't know anything about that, Clank, so I'm just going to leave that one in your court and switch over to everyone's favorite portion of the show, Mythers predictions. So you can see here roughly on the left-hand side, you've got your Asmo fans versus your LordScaryOwl fans on the right. Outnumbered, LSO appears to be the favorite. Folks like Thierry predicting 5-2 or 4-3. Adrenaline going out and saying 4-1, maybe even 4-0. Seeker, wow. PK, all saying, I almost dropped the lead. Jarl of Toad, Team LSO. On the left-hand side, you've got Eastwind saying 4-3, but then saying, gotta go with my boy, implying, maybe there's a little bit less confidence. Single biggest scary part of this is the vote of confidence by Drunken Deer, who thinks that death. Yeah, he thinks Arsenic is a 3-baller. Not great.
But at the same time, I mean, we have conflicting signs here. We have Ja Rule on one side, we have Drunken on the other side. Both undoubtedly have little to no brain activity. I'm not really sure what to make of this. I'd have to cast lots like a frickin' witch of yore. This is who knows where this is going to go. This is why we put money on it.
Yeah,
this is why we play the game.
You play the game, and for the 24 viewers who have taken time, and 6 of whom are literally on the casting team. So to the 18 viewers who've taken time out of their Friday night to watch
subtract
this,
us too. Yes.
I just want to show, we have a lot of preparation that's gone into this. LSO put together a very impressive performance, going 2-0 versus yours truly, 6-3 versus Jarl, 5-1 versus Eastwind, 2-2 versus Myth's third best player, Thierry, and 1-2 against Blade. Asmodian struggled a bit more, did rebound with a pretty good match against Shyster, going right into this, though we're pretty sure Shyster threw it on purpose to inspire his captain. But that catches everyone up. Please submit your questions in Twitch chat. One of our other people that are not commentating on this game will answer them after the game. So let me go back into the game, maybe. Okay, are we ready?
Oh, starting with Raid.
Yes, so this map is not part of the best of 7. This is a tiebreaker map to determine who gets first pick of a map. So Clank, first I want you to say, given the strange map choice, Who would you give the advantage here in this first game to?
I'm going to go Asmo. LSO has a good general understanding of giant use, but I think Asmo just, LSO wasn't there for the, as you remember, the early 2000s when everybody was playing Raid. Not everybody, but there were a ton of Raid games that you could find. So, I mean, if you were bored and there was no World War II game going, I mean, you basically learned how to giant. So I'm assuming that Asmo was present during that time, and he probably learned how to giant better than LSO ever has. So that would be my guess. Plus, I raped LSO on a Raid game recently. So
LSO, I just want to point out, LSO was negative 2 years old in the year 2000. Adren, identical unit trades here. You're our unit trade specialist, kicking it over to the sideline reporter. He's not a janitor, ladies and gentlemen. Adren, any comment on these unit trades?
He is a janitor.
You know what? These are flawless unit trades. I really have nothing bad to say about either.
There you go. Thanks, Adren. We'll be back to you after the game for post-game commentary. And there's 30 seconds left, so we will probably be shortening the time. I thought my colleagues would have more to say, but I'm here to carry the show. As always.
I mean, what's to say, that maybe a hidden warlock flank couldn't work? It's 2020. We haven't thought of everything.
Asmo did have a great point in the chat. The last 30 seconds were actually a shout out to all of our healthcare workers out there. Myths.
Oh, no. They have to stay still for 15 seconds. I believe that was the deal. They're only allowed to cheer.
Well,
and they've broken the covenant.
But they're also not listening to the stream, because if they were, they'd play very poorly.
There's LSO. He's clearly listening. Let's give it up for the healthcare workers.
Yeah. I actually think
Asmo not nearly as respectful.
Yeah, I think LSO may now be favored. My name is Karma, so I'm something of an authority on the subject, and I think his karma is decidedly negative at this point.
I think LSO is just trying to worm his way into my heart, and I think it's working. So Asmo is clearly getting the trying to go for the elevation advantage. Not a bad idea with Giants.
I mean, neither player is using anything remotely like a Raid on the Plains melee formation. They're both pretty tightly clumped. Doesn't make me too mad, because these days no one really keeps a preset for that giant spread that you used to use in this map, but it certainly is going to make this more challenging. LSO, I don't know about that. Clank, what do you think he was thinking there?
Well, so I'm kind of going into the nuts and bolts here, and I'm looking at what he's doing, and it looks like he's made at least 2, probably 3 different presets for his melee. And he was starting out trying to use a long line formation to lead into the giant, to kind of act almost like a battering ram to catch the skulls and to deflect them off of his melee, almost like a caterpillar phalanx, if you will. And I'm just not sure that it worked for him. It seems like Asmo got a pretty good shot on his melee. And I think that LSO had to go back to the drawing board. He's still using those 3 units in the front, as you can see. That's part of one of his presets. Whereas Asmo is box clicking as usual, so it's difficult to tell what he's going to do.
Decent throw of the acorns there. Decent throw. Got a good clip onto the giant. If we hit our caps lock button, we see it's a pretty slim health lead, but a health lead nonetheless. Decent return shot.
Not a bad throw. I'm liking Asmo's position in this, although his back guys are a little slow and trailing, but LSO is moonwalking with his giant like an idiot.
Yeah, so, LSO not committing at all to this fight with his giant, despite committing with all of his units.
Any sense of what's coming, then I think LSO is going to run it. What? Whoa! LSO's got a little bit of micro about him, but he's still going to lose this.
Honestly, C- play all around. This is not worth $300. What am I doing with my life?
Well, it could be a bait and switch, the classic bait and switch, kind of like how Limp ended up with that guy hooker that one time in Vegas. But, we're just going to have to see where this goes. I like what I'm seeing out of Asmo. He's clearly fired up. And, good first match.
Yep, there you go. So this settles it. Asmo's going to get first pick. We're now going to take a minute, and I'm going to turn it over to Clank and Adrenaline to do a quick summary of that match and what they think.
Well, there's not really much to say about that. That was a pretty shitty Raid on the Plains match if I've ever seen one. I liked LSO's style a little more. He was taunting. He had that 3 set of melee up front. That I do kind of the same thing. I usually go 1 Merc, 2 Zerks, and just send them straight for that Merc G. Chase them around, keep the pressure on. I'm not really sure what he was doing at the end, attacking all the melee units. Let's just stop eating your mic. My mic sound pretty bad?
Well, it sounds like you're deep throating your microphone. I think that's their main complaint. A little bit of muffled gargling sounds, almost like deep throating a cock.
That's exactly what I was going for. So yeah, that's fine.
Strategy.
Let's go back to the game here for a second, though. I actually thought LSO had that in the bag. I don't know what he was doing at the end when he was just attacking the small melee there. He could have backed up and taken a good shot. He had the health advantage on the G. Could have ran around, played that. He had full mana.
Well, I think that it didn't count, and he got a little impatient. That's okay. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, maybe he's just getting a little cocky and he wants to give Asmo the first pick. So let's see where this goes.
All right, here we go. Game 2. We have a special guest, none other than Blade, longtime Myth celebrity, longtime listener, first-time caller, as I understand it, is going to be joining the cast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I predicted this pick.
Glad to have you, Lord.
1 for 1.
Adrenaline, you are not on mute, and I will kick you in just a moment. Okay, Asmo with the pick. This is interesting. Asmo, being a player that has been playing pretty conservative in the games that I've seen him play, picking a map that can only be played in a really aggressive way. In many ways, it's considered a bit of a coin flip. So before we start, Blade, would love to get your thoughts on this pick and who you think has the advantage.
I think head-to-head LSO is going to do better on smaller map. These bigger maps have more variance and luck involved, so I think that is into Asmodian's favor.
Appreciate the feedback. I am having a little bit of difficulty with your audio, so maybe take your mic out from underwater, and we'll give it another shot. Clank, any thoughts?
Well, tell me what the map pick is, because I'm not going to lie. I snuck downstairs to spritz the meat. Can you hear me?
I can.
What's the map pick?
Map pick is Clash in the Cloud Spine.
We all know this strategy.
Yes.
I don't need to be looking at a screen to tell you that whoever reaches the hill first and distracts their opponent from getting the morts on the hill is going to win. Basically, you trade for no locks. It's never changed. Never will change. And I'm imagining that some unimaginative card face selected this pick.
Perfect. And for our older guests who quickly forget things, I want to reiterate that the 3 people casting this map are none other than Karma, Clank, and Blade. And when I say older people, I am saying Wayward One. With that, we'll get into the game.
Wayward One, how old are you, just for our viewers?
Wayward One is on mute. He's not going to fall for your trick because I would boot him in a second. We got 2 minutes in PT. We're going to first take a look at LSO's trade. Pretty standard. He did get 1 Bray Unor, which I think is the absolute perfect trade. Similar trade from Asmo, but he's inexplicably gotten 2 Brigands. I think this is potentially a
crucial mistake.
Are Brigands Mormon? I'm not sure. Adren, comments on the trades.
Yeah, these guys both fucked up. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. Asmo being 1 mort short, that's a sketchy move. Those 2 Brigands are going to do nothing for him. I would have went with 1 less maul, and or 2 less galls, whatever. 2 less galls. Anyways, I would have gotten 4 morts. That's the target you're going to achieve. I don't know what this 1 Bree is going to do for LSO. Maybe he's going to taunt with it. Who fucking knows? Flank with it as a distraction.
Yeah, I've been very vocal about this, and I just want to go on the record here in front of my literally dozens, 2 of them, fans, about this. Bray Unor have the single best taunt in Myth 2.
I agree.
Clearly. Yeah.
Actually, 4 is pretty damn good too, but I agree with the Bree being the top. One more comment here. Clank mentioned that you never get warlocks in this. I disagree with that. I usually do get a warlock on this in 1v1 situations. I wouldn't say usually. It's kind of a 50-50. But it's pretty easy to flank the hill, put it off to the side with 2 mauls for defense, and just kind of catch them off guard. If you can get a good shot into their melee at some point, totally worth it.
Yeah,
Right,
if you can pull it
thanks.
off, more power to you. But in my opinion, if you can just get 1 Zerk running at them, or even 2 goals out of your goal pack, I think that kind of negates the Warlock. Most Clash games are over within 2 minutes of reaching the hill. So,
Like, we are now into the game. Thank you, Dren. We now know why GKG always beat you. It was the Warlocks. Both players microing their goals effectively here. I'm going to turn over the play-by-play for this game to either Clank or Blade, whoever'd like to, so that I don't, make this all about karma, which we all know it really is. But one of you, please take it away from here.
Blade, go ahead and take it off. I don't want this to be the Clank show either. Blade,
Okay.
clearly AFK.
So we've lost Blade.
Well, yeah. Typical Blade, if we have to say.
Some say he's microing a single soul somewhere. Here we go.
Like most Myth World Cups. Okay.
Sorry about that. I had to reconnect.
Oh, okay, all good. Blade, you are now in charge of the play-by-play, and take it away.
So neither team really rushing in to start engaging, setting up their units. It's going to be interesting to see how the Bree plays in here early on.
We're seeing a slight difference in tactics. We see that LSO is keeping his goals and Zerks on 1 preset, whereas Asmo's clearly, he's box collecting, let's be honest.
Yep,
He's not
some
using
early
presets.
shots from the Breunar, though.
Yeah, Asmo beat...
you hate to see
A crucial dud.
Yeah, I mean, Asmo beat LSO to the hill, but that dud basically means that's useless.
LSO has mortared himself more than he has mortared Asmo, and that's
Yeah,
gonna be a
very
big
close
problem
game. Asmo has a bunch more melee. He's got to rush here. If he rushes, this is over, but he's just taking more shots.
He's chasing the trow. I don't know why he's doing
That's a
that.
great shot.
If he sends something at the Morts, then he's got this. I don't know. I'm not really sure what he's doing.
LSO is in trouble.
Asmo's throwing the game, clearly.
Ooh.
Just kind of some bizarre.
All he has
play
to
there.
do is kill the Mort in this game. Oh, it's over. LSO won.
Yeah, wow. I really don't know how that happened.
LSO shot himself more than he shot Asmo. That is truly bizarre. I can't wait.
If it sounds like I'm shocked, it's because I win.
I can't wait to hear what Adrenaline has to say about this.
Yeah, that was wow. I mean, Asmo has nobody to blame but himself. Hate to say it.
I agree. So for this post-game show on this particular event, I am going to ask Blade and Adren to talk about what we just saw.
Holy shit, where to begin? Asmo had a clear advantage there. That dud, let's not bullshit here. That was a critical dud. That would have killed
Adren,
2 more off
Adren, not to stop you, but as somebody that's experienced at high level competition, including 1v1s, do you think that the pressure is getting to these two?
No, I think they're both staying pretty cool.
We're seeing blunders though, blunder after blunder. I'm hoping that this calms down.
This was my prediction though. I did state right from the get-go that LSO has better micro, and we saw that LSO
when he microed his Morts into his own melee. I mean,
you're right. That wasn't spectacular by any means. That should have given Asmo the clear win right there. You're right. He should have just turned and rushed right away. But I could just, if you watched the Tro work, Asmo early on when there were still other units on the map, his multitasking didn't quite seem up to par with LSO.
Remember though, we have the benefit of the zoomed out view. Everything does.
I was playing at regular game Zoom. Did you guys see me drawing circles on the map at all? I don't know if you could see that.
I couldn't.
It was kind of funny. There was a Zerk stuck against the wall for most of the game from LSO.
Yeah, LSO, I have to criticize our cameraman here, who will be getting fired. And by cameraman, I mean it's my wife who I'm making control the camera while I pace and doing the commentary. Also apparently left units at home the whole game, and I did not know.
That's a rookie casting move.
Okay, we're going with Proving Grounds. We're going to go presumably with Elmoth. We're going to reduce the PT here because it is already getting close to LSO's bedtime.
How important do we think that first win is? I mean, that's starting off on a pretty decisive victory.
Yep.
Well, I don't know that it was decisive, but it's ominous for Asmo that basically LSO screwed up as much as he could and he still won. So I don't know. It's gonna be tough unless Asmo really ratchets it up.
All right. So for this match, I'm going to update the title here. LSO having the new lead in the match. You're going to be joined on this great desk with Clank and Karma by none other than Wayward One. So Wayward One, you're going to press the unmute button or screen share with Clank. He can do it for you if it's stuck. And we'll get this thing underway.
Good evening.
Welcome, good sir.
That was a clusterfuck of mistakes about starting out really good and then playing like you got in with a fake ID.
Story of my life, WWO. Story of my life.
You can call me Ford. That's my real name. You can call me Ford.
Oh, look at this. This is very interesting. I don't use real names because Clank and I are professionals worried about being doxxed in real life. I
invite doxing, and my screen name is just way too long. So
no such concerns for WWO. Nothing to worry about.
No, please dox me and show up at my house. Yeah, I mean,
he's already an Instagram influencer. So look, I'm going to turn it over to Dren in just a second. We've got two contestable putts here, very close start positions. Dren, it looks like similar trades. Asmo with the correct trade, no warriors. LSO with the coward's trade, trading for some warriors. Dren, you got 30 seconds. What do you think?
All right, I'm just going to call you out on your bullshit right now. The Warriors are important. I trade for them every time on this map, and I don't think I'm going too far to the limb when I say I'm probably the best PG player in the game.
Ooh.
Yes.
But why? Tell us why.
I mean,
15 seconds, Dren.
Okay, anyways, they're used for heal trapping pretty much exclusively, and they're a little more maneuverable for blocking lock shots. I like to use a lock and warrior in combination, and always block the war. Beyond that, just a quick little prediction here. I stated before that I thought LSO is a bit of a passive player when it comes to 1v1. Look for him to posture up on a hill and wait for Asmo to come to him. Back to you guys.
Great analysis and timely ending. Thank you, Adren. Wayward One, since that's what I'm calling you, I'm going to leave it to you to take it away on the play-by-play.
Well, Asmo is not even trying for the contested pus in the corner. He's got a late start. LSO is going to have the advantage there with a pus and a mort ball. Asmo is immediately going to mid as though game type actually matters. LSO is shoring up his resources much better than Asmo is right now. I expect LSO to start harassing earlier too, which he is. His tro is going in to get rid of any goals that might be picking up some map pus.
It's pronounced trow, and we confirmed that in Myth 1 the narrator pronounces it trow. Continue.
Now,
yes.
Asmo clearly with a missed opportunity right there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he was trying to use LSO kicking his goal to get a lock shot off on LSO's goals, but for inexplicable reasons, he just turned his lock around. I thought he had a clear shot on him, but anyways, back to a Wayward One.
Yeah, it looks like LSO has his melee in one preset, his locks together in one preset, and his mort and trowel separate. And he's really looking to press the issue. Asmo, as we all kind of thought, would play a little more wait and see-ish. And their duel is about to start, so we'll see how well they block and lock each other.
Ooh, right off the bat, I think Asmo just lost his lock. Ooh, close. And it's possibly gone now, but...
This is why no one gives Clank locks.
Well, he has a shred of health left. He almost lost it. So, anyways, interesting it's interesting to me that neither one of them is pushing the issue. They're just kind of going for the artillery battle right now, along with the goals.
LSO is about to send in some goals on Asmo, and I don't think Asmo even saw. So he's got his, he just lost 2 artillery, and his melee got frozen. It looks like the kid is way more awake. Perhaps the Geritol is not kicking in for Asmo yet.
We've got some BM here.
Oh, for healthcare workers. Oh my god.
Asmo is definitely behind the 8 ball right now. This is LSO's game to lose from here on out.
I think LSO knows it. We see him taunting with the trow. I think a real big question here is after winning the raid game, then falling down quickly 0-2, if it does in fact end that way, does Asmo
Well, the first game, the raid game doesn't count, right?
So no.
Actually,
that was
0-1.
It was a mental victory. The score right now is 1-0 LSO. It's about, looks like, to be 2-0.
Well,
yeah, LSO is clearly much more prepped for this. It's a real shame too, because this should have been closer. And with Asmo picking game 1 and losing it, I'm not sure what's going to happen with LSO's pick next. Yeah.
Is Asmo going to get land whited?
Wayward One, do you see any paths to making this respectable for if you're Asmodian right now? What do you do?
Well, the only thing Asmo could do is do incredible melee micro. He would essentially have to rush in, block one side with his trowel, and block the other side with a maul, and then just go to microing. But I don't think Asmo has the energy for that.
Well, we're going to have to find some storylines on this game because it's essentially over. Can we talk about Karma's resolution and why he does not have the HD textures? I mean, it's really a sore sight to see. There they are.
It's less distracting for me personally. I don't personally like the HD textures, which is going to give Limp another reason to yell at me.
It raises a good point though, because on a map like PG, you really need to be able to see the pus, and the HD textures do make that difficult.
That is a good point.
That is true, and as somebody who has had money for more than 6 months since finishing residency, I am playing on a 34-inch high-definition Alienware monitor, and it hurts my eyes.
I think at this point, Asmo is conceding. He's going in for the... Well, no, he's not. Again, Asmo is very equivocating this match. He should have committed probably 2 minutes ago to the melee rush. Instead, he lost a lock, and he's not meleeing very well. This match may be over at this point. LSO only needs 2. It's going to have to be 4-2.
Was that a self-puss? Did Asmo just puss himself?
Or not?
Asmo may have to retire from Myth.
Asmo had any.
It's not looking good. I think Asmo's listening to the stream. Oh, LSO!
Oh shit!
All right. I'll leave y'all to the post game.
Getting salty.
So Adren, help me here. Help me make sense of what I just saw.
Yeah, that was embarrassing on all fronts. I'm liking the shit talk from LSO. This is good.
Yeah, you really need it. You can't just passively play like little bitches.
And nobody wants to see 2 people being nice to each other in a hotly contested 1v1 for money, right?
Yeah, especially when LSO is literally taking money out of Asmo's child's mouth. I mean, you hate to see it. You
do. Yeah, from the get-go, Asmo had a bit of a slow start. I think from that start, North, as in LSO start position there, does have the advantage to get that pus. At least the pus and the mort ball. He went for the 2 pus instead since Asmo didn't go in. Asmo was a bit slow to react to that. He should have just turned around and gone for the south pus and mort ball. When he lost the lock and the mort in that same pus shot, I guess he didn't see that he was sitting on that mort ball. Every veteran player knows that's there. Sometimes you can't see it. It's covered by like shrapnel that's laying all over the map. But you gotta know it's there, and he was kind of positioned over it, so that was a critical error on his behalf. Other than that, again, just LSO with kind of the quicker clicking and better micro. This was my prediction all along. I predicted a 4-0 or a 4-1, and I think we're going to see it happen. Back to the desk.
All right. Thank you, Dren.
So, Kramer, how many viewers do we have on the stream right now? For some reason, it's not showing up for me. I'd like to know our audience.
Yeah, let me just say it's literally more than 24. 33 if we remove, the people commentating. That's still 24. So literally dozens, you could say.
So more than have shown up for the last basically 8 Myth World Cups. Something to be proud of for sure.
Yeah, and what also wasn't in those last 8 World Cups was Clank and Karma, if I'm being honest.
Maybe that's why they sucked ass. We'll never know.
I mean, it is certainly why we don't take Asmo's Myth resume very seriously, because, some of Myth's best players weren't even here.
Oh, yeah. Like when I left Myth, he was basically just like a perma noob that nobody even noticed. Now he's respected, but it's okay because he's nice and I like him.
There we go. Okay, we've got a situation update from the field.
Uh-oh.
Asmo.
Da-da-da. Da-da-da.
Exactly. Asmo has taken a fairly unprecedented step of requesting a do-over on the same map. Not a do-over. He doesn't want to invalidate the game. He admits that he played poorly. He's simply requesting the chance to redeem himself by having a second chance.
So this next game wouldn't count, or is that
no? It counts. Pick? It counts. We just you normally don't see repeat map picks.
Now, is Limp going to be joining us for the next map? Because it would be interesting to hear from a Vegas resident about this, because basically it seems like Asmo's on tilt and he's trying to lose all his money.
So this should be, I agree with you. Limp is on deck for Game 5. This should be a game where Blade joins us. I know Blade had to go on mute. We do have 2 new participants in the staff channel. La Cucaracha himself, the man, the myth, the legend.
No way.
And Paris in Flames. So Blade,
wow.
I would like for
Star
you
power.
to let me know if you're able to come off of mute.
I can come off of mute, but if La Cucaracha wants to join, I think that's what the people would like.
He'll share the limelight. Wow.
I do like that he Blade was like, but not Paris, only CU, which by the way, it's pronounced out loud CU. CU, are you prepared to join this broadcast? While LSO gets some rehydrating fluid. You can write in the chat if you're unable.
Yo, I thought it was coup. I really thought it was coup.
I mean, it probably is, but I pronounce it CU.
You're telling me it's fucking shyster and now it's coup? Like, just ruin all my dreams.
Coup actually makes sense.
It's definitely coup because it comes from Coup Roy, the character in Myth.
Oh my god, it does. I remember his name used to be Coup Roy.
Okay, everyone that's violating the mute rules, much like Limp, as a tournament official, this is my show, I'll boot everyone. It doesn't look like La Cucaracha is willing to put his voice out there on the internet forever, probably for good reason. He doesn't want to get doxxed and have his career ruined. Clank and I, unfortunately, not as smart. So Blade,
a little bit less important. Yep.
Yeah. Blade, this is all you. The rematch. We are pressing go. Let me just confirm Asmo's ready.
I was typing a real clanking right there, but we JS'd.
Well,
so to summarize, we got LSO up 2-0, and we are doing a repeat Proving Grounds game.
That's correct.
Now, Karma, can you go ahead and zoom in on Blade so we can get the sideline report?
Oh,
hey guys.
Blade, real quick. Now that we got you here, any quick predictions? Who's going to win this match?
I don't see anything changing from last game. LSO just looks so much more comfortable there. I think the smart pick is with him.
Okay.
You can see both teams pretty equally from your vantage point. Is there anything that you're seeing from their unit trades?
Clank,
or maybe
we only have 40 seconds, and this is Adren's time. Look at the trades, Adren. We got 2 locks and a more at 1 war. We got a little bit more warriors on LSO's side. Adren, you got 30 seconds. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I'm not seeing much different this game. LSO's got one more goal this game. Otherwise, pretty similar. I'd like to see Asmo try a rush here. I think he's got to do something. He's got to make some moves, and I think a rush would have been in his best interest here. But he's got a plus advantage for sure, better positioning, more options to use, and then go back and get more. I don't think he'll do that. But fuck, who knows? Let's see what happens.
Game on.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really pulling for Asmo so that we can get a nice, lengthy series here. But we'll see how it goes.
So before I turn it over to Blade for the play-by-play, I will say that Blade has demanded a full 7 games, no matter the score. And as a sponsor, that is his right. Blade, tell us what you see.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get all 7 games out of these guys. That's what everyone's here for. But in terms of the play-by-play, they're moving into position. I don't think a rush is a good idea, Adrenaline, simply because LSO is just really good at defending that kind of thing. But we'll see what happens. And it looks like he's not going to take that.
From that standpoint, though, it seems like LSO likes to play the passive game. So at what point are you playing into his hands if you try to play the artillery battle?
That's a good point. Classic, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I mean, we're talking about him like he's Chohan here. He's not, so I think if you're Asmo, especially down like this, you have to make a move.
We see LSO starting to flank a goal, trying to get into the backfield. Asmo not doing so much. He's actually got some goals stuck on the other side of the map.
That was some amazing camera work.
You're seeing the negative to not using presets because Asmo basically has to stop all his units to move his goals that are back collecting pus right now. That's why he hasn't moved them. If he was using presets, he could just hit, Alt-4 and click somewhere and get his goals moving in this area. But
gets off a pus and on a few melee, which maybe isn't what he was going for, but it'll work if he can get a lock shot in there.
Interesting. Also could have kicked that board. He misclicked and clicked them all, but he definitely could have kicked through. Odd choice for Asmo. He doesn't seem more comfortable to me. I mean, he specifically requested this rematch. Why do you guys think he thought this time would be different?
Pride.
That's a succinct answer.
Well, I mean, you spend most of your career. I think granted, I haven't been here in a long time, but it seems like Asmo has excelled on these sort of maps, and so I think it's just, in his
we got a lock
in his mind
here. Ooh, a clutch last
in his
second
mind,
block.
if you can't win on maps that are some of your best maps, then the battle's lost anyway. So I think that's just kind of where he's coming from. I think he might lose this block. Ooh, close.
One of these days, you will correctly call the lock shot.
Oh, we're talking about a shred of health here, Karma. Come on.
But if you see what I'm saying, LSO really defended off that putz goal and the incoming lock push pretty well. He is, by default, a more passive player, and it's going to work for him.
Well, and look at Asmo's, if you look at LSO's units, look at the even spacing. It's very clear he's using presets. Honestly, I'm not even memeing. And he's able to keep that very spread melee. If he did this on Raid, he wouldn't have lost Raid. Meanwhile, Asmo looks like what I looked like when I 1v1'd LSO and was no longer comfortable. He's very clumped. It's not easy for him to dodge this. If you tried to pus this on LSO's side, you can't do it.
And Asmo, once again, he did see it this time. He did. Good for him, but he's still... Ooh. Wow. Not a bad defense, though. All things considered, not a bad defense.
This game is going a little better so far for him.
You wonder why he didn't block.
I spoke too soon.
You wonder why he didn't block. And he gets hit by the same warp ball that he forgot about in the first game. And it's going to be his undoing again.
You hate to see it.
You do hate to see it.
I mean, how does that happen 2 games in a row? How can that happen? I'm a little bit stupefied. I don't know. I've been pretty surprised with all the games so far, to be honest. So,
I mean, we've spent $100 on far stupider things. Don't get me wrong. But I really hope we get some competitive games out of this.
Yeah, I'm going to wipe my ass with this $100 bill before I give it to him.
I've spent hundreds of dollars on electric skateboards that mostly just fall off.
A misclick from LSO right there.
And I
But
agree
it
with
does not
Clank.
come
We're
back
going to
to
let
haunt him.
Blade's comment about whatever that was just go. Okay, so at this point, neither team... Actually, Asmo does have a goal. I don't know if it has pus or not because the observer client is shit and won't show that. I assume it doesn't.
5 minutes remaining.
At this point, down this way with only... I think a melee fight where LSO hits himself with artillery shot, which we've seen he will do, is Asmo's only chance. He might as well just rush. What do you think? Thank you for that contribution. I guess I'll just keep talking. This is not looking good for Smo.
No.
Now, when let me ask a question, since this game seems to be pretty comfortably in hand. When you lose the Trow belt to the Trow belt you invented, and you lose it publicly in front of, again, let me reiterate, literally dozens of Myth 2's most dedicated fans, what kind of toll do you think that has on you as a captain?
I mean, that's really the question after this match, right? Is can these two go back to their teams with their chin up? And so far with Asmo, that might be a struggle.
Clank, as a teammate of Asmodian's, I know you've been pretty hard on him, pretty harsh commentary coming out of you from this match. Do you think there'll be some hard feelings when you get back in that locker room?
Not at all. Not at all. If you can't take the spice, then you're not on HOTS. It's spicy in that kitchen. We're cooking up fire every day. And the end of the day, 1v1 skill does not really translate into these team games. Otherwise, Limp would just suck ass. So, I'm excited to see where Asmo takes the motivation that he gets from these matches and translates it into an ass whooping on Paris and Flames on Sunday.
Looks like Asmo's going in for the rush. It's a long shot, but we did see that raid fuck up from LSO, so you never know.
Yeah, and honestly, in a different world, Asmo takes advantage of the advantage he had on Clash. He was up, LSO had boarded himself. Asmo had the hill with wards well before LSO could even get into position, and he wasn't able to capitalize, and I think that's going to come back to haunt him.
You have to wonder if that first match got him a little shaky right off the start. He had to have thought to himself. He had to have thought to himself. I did most everything right. LSO sabotaged himself, and yet I still could not come out the victor. So I mean, I don't know. It's tough to gain back your confidence, and now in a 3-0 hole, I just don't know that there's any saving this for him.
Especially because the pick goes back to LSO after this. This was Asmodian's pick.
Now, another question is, I'll leave this to Blade, but if you're LSO right now, do you do a troll pick?
I think you really want to rub it in. This is really about pride and trying to make people feel bad. So I think you do something really fucked up.
I just, for all our viewers out there, for everyone at home, I think Blade really got to the point of what Myth is about. It's not about winning. It's not about losing. It's not even really about having fun. It's about making other people have a bad time. And that's what makes Myth special.
I've dedicated my entire Myth persona to this exact ideal.
LSO is not playing great here.
I think he's dicking around a little bit.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
He's got enough of a melee advantage.
I have beaten LSO with 20% less melee. He is terrible at it. But he gets himself advantages this big. And as I mentioned, 2-0'd me on this map. A map that is probably the best map I've played on 1v1. Not that I'm a good 1v1. But another one in the books. LSO's picked next. So now, Blade, I'm going to kick it over to you and Adren to talk about what we just saw.
I'd really like to see Asmo get a little more aggressive with that Tro, being the self-proclaimed Tro belt holder. He really didn't use it very well there. Trow.
Definitely Trow.
I'm Canadian, we Canadians say Trow. Anyways, he had a lot of opportunities to block certain shots and never took advantage. He did pretty good holding back the push while he was all clumped up, like you guys were saying, when those pots were coming in and everything. But I saw a couple shots he could have blocked, and when he was down to that one lock, when he did end up losing it, he could have easily blocked that shot, but he ran off with the trow for some reason and didn't seize that opportunity. And on the flip side, I really don't think LSO was being very proactive that game either. You could see he had a massive percentage advantage. He didn't push at all. He just kind of sat back like I predicted, like a bit of a pussy.
I think at this point, though, LSO realizes that he has the massive command in the match, and so I think he's gonna really make Asmo have to earn this. You know, he's content to sit back, let Asmo make mistakes because he's proven that he will. So,
but I think that game right there kind of made LSO look like a little bit more of a bitch. Not gonna lie.
Well, you know, Adren, we disagree on a lot of things, but I think we can both agree that LSO in general is a bitch. So, I mean, it's not anything out of character.
You know, fair point. Fair point. Good analysis.
Okay.
I'm going to take a leak, so back to you guys.
Thank you for sharing, Adren. And for the record, I just want you to know that you could never beat 3 bows with 1 brick. Moving on.
That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
That is strike 2. Your time was up. You were to be muted when your time is up.
Can I not defend myself? Anyways, all right.
Hey, Adren, can you turn your vibrator off too?
Jesus Christ, yes. You're really messing this up, Adrenaline. Just like you messed up in Myth World Cup 2008.
Take
back
the phone
to the game.
speaker away from your clit. Jesus.
Looks like we've got, and this is an interesting question for Limp, who's joining the cast, and Clank. How do you pronounce the name of this map?
I always thought it was Gyre in the Wave, but a lot of people say Gyre in the Wave too.
Oh no,
dude! I say Gear in the Wave. Is it not Gear?
What the fuck? All right, have you never? It's from a fucking poem. First of all, Jabberwocky. Why does Clank have to educate you guys on this? Anyways, but it's
we need the doctor.
Did Gyre and Gimbal in the Wave? Like that's the line from the poem. And it's undoubtedly that pronunciation.
So, Clank, I appreciate that education. I think it's because, Limp, in terms of why he had to educate us, Arkansas didn't get internet until roughly the time Clank joined Myth. So he had a lot of time to read old poetry, which makes a lot of sense. All right. Adren is taking a leak. We may be missing our pregame consultant, but considering I'm about to ban him from the Discord, may not be the worst thing. Here we are.
Ban him! Ban him!
Yeah, 3-0. Let's get into the game.
So,
let's do it.
Just like on Monday Night Football, for the announcers on that show, I mean, we might be reaching a point where we're gonna have to start talking about random shit during a blowout.
Sounds likely from the look of things thus far.
You know, guys, I got to admit I've been there this whole time because, as I said before, in the age of the money printer Jerome Powell, this is still the most overpriced, overinflated asset in all of the United States. And that's saying something. $300 for this match, a little bit excessive.
But
I feel kind of embarrassed for all of us, really.
At the same time, I mean, hats off to LSO. He had one opponent to face, and he's done his job. You can't really take away from him, and you certainly can't take the money away from him. He's going to earn every last penny.
Yeah, look, you can only beat, as they say, who they put in front of you. LSO so far has done just that. I want to go on record here, now that I've permanently banned Adrenaline from the Discord, saying...
I'm sorry. Come on.
Dude, that was a joke. Don't test me. Listen, before this game starts, I just want to say, Asmodian said, and I quote, "Pressure only makes me better." We're about to find out how true that is. He's got a trade here as I take over the play-by-play because this might be the last match that matters, and this is really all about me. Got a lot of spiders on the side of Asmo. 2 fetch, as you'd expect. Similar trade from the young pup LSO. I think one of the reasons he might be playing well, and Clank, I'd love to hear your take on this. If this goes too late, will his mom make him go to bed?
Well, he knows he has to wrap it up early. You're right. If he doesn't wrap it up early, he may have to forfeit a couple games. And, in a money match, you never want to see that. So both of them have Spide packs. I anticipate that they're going to run some Zerks at each other. Geyer is a little bit of an unfortunate map, in my opinion. It was always my least favorite to 1v1 on, just because it's all about who can run at the other opponent the most and get them to clump up, and then you try to fetch them. I mean, it's literally more mindless than Clash, if that's possible. And, not my favorite, but we'll see how it plays out for him.
LSO now claiming this trade as the new meta. In my 10 years of Myth, I never once heard anyone use the word meta because it was always, I guess maybe GKG, but it was always pretty much the same. Limp, do you think that the young pup here has really brought change to the game, or is he just the latest person that's taking advantage of his ability to click fast and beat the older crowd?
I don't think there's really much you can introduce to this game any longer. It is 22 years old.
4 years older than LSO.
I've seen this trade before. This is nothing new. It's really just the difference of if you want to buy Mauls or not instead of more Berserks.
A little bit of a subtle thing there, but that was a good trade for Asmo. He managed to zap and run in perfect timing, perfect cadence, but we'll see how that plays out the rest of the way.
So question
This is a really strange 1v1 map to choose a lot of the time just because so much is based on the fetch. If your fetch die, your percentages of winning go down so much.
So the question for me, and this may be a new question from a person who doesn't play 1v1, if you're not going to use your spiders to flank and walk up these mountains, why do you trade for them given they're so vulnerable to fetch?
I don't know. You would have these, I'm looking at both people doing this right now, and I can't believe that neither team has their melee spread out really wide. It's just they're both kind of clumped where a single fetch shot could just obliterate them, but I don't know. This is a $300 map, I guess.
I would think that with 9 presets, LSO could dedicate one of them to a more spread melee, but apparently maybe we could ask Paging Project Magma, HNP, if you're out there, we need a 10th and 11th preset.
Yeah, I don't think 9 is enough.
I think that's a Bond movie.
It was the worst one.
Kind of like LSO.
Which reminds me of this match.
Yeah, right now, it seems like they're just taking turns suiciding melee into each other without actually following it up with an aggressive push. This is something that Adrenaline and GKG would probably be ashamed to watch right now, to be honest.
Yeah. So the top 3 things I should say, pressure only makes me better. Asmodian, Diamonds, and Spark.
This looks like Asmodian is about to lose right now. He just brought his fetch really close together, let some melee get him close and kill his fetch. And this game
there it is.
Over.
That's game. That's definitely game.
Now, the question here that people at home have got to be asking, they're here, they showed up, they're dedicated. You had a lot of people wearing fake trowel belts they bought off eBay in the stands.
We're going to have to keep the 1v1 series going.
Is Asmo going to deliver and play out this match? I certainly hope so, but there's only one way to find out. We're going to see.
Will, if he does leave, will someone step in and take his place?
Well, here's what I want to see.
I think Adrenaline is a good candidate there.
I want to see Adrenaline, and I want to see Thierry give us a match.
I haven't played 1v1 in a long time, but can I say a few things about this game? I think you guys were way off about a few things in your analysis there.
Sure.
Oh.
So before we figure out whether Asmo is going to continue, I want to kick it to Adren, do a post-game analysis, and then we'll see if Asmo will be gracious enough to agree to play the final 3 games. Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, spiders, very important on that map. You do not flank them. You keep them in your main defense pack for the reason that they are fast, maneuverable, can maneuver around your fetch, quick to defend. I never trade for 10. They both traded for 10 spiders there. I usually get 7, and I get 2 mauls on the side, and I'll usually send a maul on 2 sides and 2 Zerks, say maybe 2 or 3 Zerks per side to rush in. Attack at 2 angles, push the pace a little faster than that. You guys are right in that they were dancing a little too much. You got to kind of go straight in, keep the forward momentum going with the rushing melee, and get in on their fetch. And then you got to bring your fetch close enough to zap while they defend.
So from that standpoint, I got to say that might have been the longest Geyer 1v1 match I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was pretty dragged out for sure.
So
we have some
especially one without
coming
Solus.
in from the chat.
Yeah,
we have some people requesting Adrenaline versus LSO. What do we think about that?
I actually haven't played 1v1 in over a year. I would love to get a few games in.
Oh, you haven't?
So
Adrenaline. It's been a while. I mean, I've jumped in. I haven't even played FFA in a while.
You're already talking about the metas.
As the person that's in charge of this and who really was responsible for pulling all of it together and saving Myth World Cup 2020 with an assist from Limp. I mean, he set it up, but really I brought it back. I just want to call out Adren for his pre-excuses. And I want to give Asmo a chance. If Asmo would like to play, the last 3 games here to see if he can even up the score, that certainly is right. So
Hasn't Blake already insisted that these games must be played through?
Adrena, I'm a dictator, much like Limp. So let's see. So, question to you, Asmo. I'm gonna ask Asmo in the chat.
Yeah, this is not disrespectful. We're just asking out of courtesy.
Okay. So, Asmo wants to play it out. Respect it. I think he's going to bring it back here. I can stay up all night because I'm a degenerate. So maybe, Adren, we can put you on the spot and see if you back down from LordScaryOwl after these games.
Now, before Adren does any 1v1, though, we have to get him on the record. What's your level of drug use tonight? What's your level of care? Just go ahead and get it all out of the way so we have it.
I will go ahead and admit that I haven't smoked weed in a couple hours, so I'm pretty straight. I've been drinking wine for a couple hours. Other than that, I'm pretty good to go on that front. But like I said, I haven't played 1v1 in a long fucking time.
Now, can we hold you to that? Can we hold you to that the only pre-excuse you're going to use is that you're rusty even though you play every fucking day?
I'm not sure I'm rusty. I just don't really know where my 1v1 level is.
Okay. Look, we're going to have a podcast, soon where, Karma's the moderator and Clank and Adren, talk about whether or not, and look, Clank said this, not me, Adren, don't get mad at me, but Clank says that Adrenaline is the biggest underachiever to ever play Myth. And I really want to dig into that. But now is not the time.
In what sense? In what context?
Just wasted potential, Adren. But look, there's going to be plenty of time for that on the podcast.
Beat GKG in a 1v1 tournament, though, isn't that correct, Adren? Oh, I think it is. Oh well.
Okay.
I mean, I call it a tournament. GKG disagrees, but whatever.
Everyone, we're starting again.
No, I mean, you won his money, don't you remember? He tried to run the same type of deal as Kohan, where 1v1 me, whoever wins, they'll get $100. No one could beat Kohan. And after 2 or 3 matches, you played GKG and he lost to you. He had to pay up. Is this correct or no?
It is correct, and I really wish somebody had those films because they're actually really good games. As much shit as we talk to each other, we had a KG game that came down to a 1v1 dwarf versus dwarf and lasted well into sudden death.
Okay. I enjoy the old timers reminiscing. I just want to point out that LSO thinks he can buy a new computer for $300, which is adorable.
I'm going to pretend we still have a structure here, and so I'll pretend that this still matters.
Adren, comment on the trades. They seem to be pretty even.
Pretty standard trades. Not really seeing much difference here.
A little interesting. 3 goals.
It's a little interesting. You might go for a bottle puss or just kind of a fake puss. I sometimes get 4 here and try to bait out their counter puss. So you lead with the empty goals, and sometimes they'll puss your goals thinking they contain puss, and then you're free to use it. Actually, I learned that tactic from Thierry years ago and kind of adopted it into my 1v1 play. So props to Thierry for that one. Again, I really would like to see Asmo rush, especially on this map. He needs to do something.
Question for the group.
He's at a disadvantage.
What is on the line?
Here's my prediction. LSO is going to use flame arrows early, and Asmo is going to lose 30% health in the fire.
Oh
Oof.
wow,
Old.
We're quickly
All right,
losing mute discipline, and as the person that's been carrying this entire endeavor from day one, I'm going to ask that you leave it to the professionals that are Karma and Clank. Clank, who's going to win this game?
Well, first of all, Karma never afraid to die on the cross of effort for this stream. We're all so proud of you that you could spend all of 2 hours putting this together. Even though I know it was longer than that, I'm gonna just always call it 2 hours. Bigger underdog on this match. I'm not sure if it's Asmodian versus LSO or me versus this bottle of whiskey that I'm gonna have to use to numb my feelings, because I feel like I'm watching a prison rape here. It's just anything Asmo tries to do, it just seems like LSO has the counter. Right now I'm seeing spread, common theme. It never changes. We have spread melee from LSO because he's using a preset, and we have unspread melee, a little bit disorganized box clicks from Asmo. I think if Asmo ever wants to make the next leap in his game, he's going to have to just kind of evolve. He's going to have to learn how to use the alt button, and, we'll just kind of see where that takes him. But this might be a wake-up call for him.
Yeah, I'd say so. You don't wish this on anyone. I don't think Asmo saw this coming. We saw, and we'll certainly revisit it in the post-game show. We saw the pre-game smack talk. I mean, Asmo was feeling it. He was captain of the most stacked, rigged Myth World Cup team in the history of all Myth World Cups. Makes Myth World Cup 2007 look practically fair. He was riding high. He's undefeated so far in terms of matches. They haven't even had their best players show up because they don't have to, because they're so stacked. And like, this is the moment where it all comes crumbling down.
Oh, bro, they lost their first match, bro.
Wait, what?
They lost the first match, 2-3. Aren't you guys keeping up on the tabs that is LSO's very important life?
Oh, I thought
we were talking about Asmo, Paris.
Yeah,
your drug use is affecting your ability to contribute. Who invited Paris to
One
share?
time I was talking to Asmo and he's like, dude, I'm in the top 5 greatest.
All right.
It might be worth paying attention to the smack talk here.
I believe this is my time, guys.
Yeah, like with apologies to my literally dozens of fans out there. I had to kick Paris. I love Paris.
That was amazing, though. That was amazing. Like, just hearing him go off in the Southie accent.
I mean, going off in the Southie accent is great, but like also, like, what is he talking about? Like well, we were clearly making fun of Asmo being the captain of the most stacked team, and then Paris is yelling at me about LSO losing a match. I don't understand it.
Man, LSO's talking some shit now. Look at this. He's really trying to spice it up.
All right, this is my time, boys. Post-game analysis.
Yes, Adrian, I apologize. Please.
First, the entire match, you guys have been talking about presets and formations like they're one and the same. They're not. He's not using spread formations because he's not using spread formations. That has nothing to do with presets.
Yes, but it's easier to go back to spread formations if you can quickly recall.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point I was trying to make.
Like, surely he must use at least a couple of presets. That blows my mind.
No, I've watched his stream. He does not. I promise you.
Really? Oh, that baffles me. How anybody?
It's all box click. It's really amazing that he can play at the level that he does.
Very weird.
Considering.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, he's doing pretty well for doing. GKG didn't really use him either, but he had a much quicker mouse hand, and he could make it work for himself.
Shit talk here is really escalating.
The thing I hate about Gimble 1v1, there's so much that can go wrong. I mean, starts play a huge factor in the outcome. Asmo was at a start disadvantage. He's definitely last to the hill from that south start. And as you can see, somebody pointed it out before it even happened. He did sit in the flames and lost a few units. Nobody needs to see that. But I called it from the start. I just think LSO is at a different level than Asmo when it comes to multitasking and just quick clicking. Give Asmo 2 groups of units, like a smaller flank, a throw, and some melee. He can excel with that. He's a good captain, but LSO I think is a better individual player, and This is what I saw going down from the get-go. So.
One thing that the viewers can always count on is, the Clank persona aside, even when I'm clanking, I'm going to be able to recognize if you're playing well. And, I have nothing but hate for LSO, but I can't help but give him some begrudging respect how he's playing today. I'm watching him micro his melee. I'm watching him use both of his locks and his more within 2 nanoseconds of each other on the PG games. I mean, he's clicking fast today. He's using the right tactics. He's using good formations.
Yep, absolutely.
So
but to be fair to Asmo, I've played Asmo several 1v1s in the past, and I've seen him play better than this. I don't think he's playing at his best right now. I think he's kind of in tilt mode.
Guys, we got to get started here. LSO is getting into bedtime mode while we load. Some person named Hollywood Hogan, I don't know who the fuck that is, but whoever you are would like to make a comment. Before I do that, I will acknowledge, chat. I just read Twitch chat, because I'm a boomer, don't know what it means. I could make this bigger. I don't know how, for the chat in game. If we do this again, I'll let some of you, educated Twitch players teach me how to be a better Twitch star. In the meantime, Hollywood Hogan, take it away, while, the loading is happening.
Yeah, I'd just like to say one thing. Ford, aka WWO, last match, stated when it started that he predicted that LSO would fire his fire arrows into Asmodian's army, killing a large percentage, and that is exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. In addition to that,
with great age comes great wisdom.
Yes, indeed. And in addition to that, as of last week, Asmodian would prefer that I captain the team, and he would like to play.
Fair enough. And Blade, I got to give credit to Blade. Blade was observing when LSO was beating me down on PG and had the astute observation to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't have our second or third, arguably between second and fourth best BC player captaining when he does no captaining. And LSO, I hope you're listening. His strategies aren't very good. So you may well see a change,
Honestly,
on our team.
LSO sucks as a captain, and I hate when he captains. But what he's showing me right now, I mean, why the fuck isn't he just hitting for you guys every fucking game? I don't get it.
It's a great question.
My turn, boys. Let me comment on these trades. Look at these trades. Wildly different. Wildly different.
Do you think it has to do with start position?
No, because they're gonna play with honor here, and they're gonna meet mid, and that's kind of how this usually goes. I believe that's the way it's gonna go.
Yeah, Clank's never played with honor before, so what Clank would do right here is try to pin Asmo down and just hold the hill. But Clank, that's not how we do it here.
Absolutely.
What is Asmo doing? He sent all 5 of his Gauls back to the pus, picked up 2 pus, now sending them all. Why wouldn't he send the 3 with his melee right away?
Also, why no dwarf here? He's got no dwarf, so why? I guess he's gonna go for just a straight rush because he realizes he can't hang with their artillery.
It could work if he gets in there quick and kills those 2 dwarfs. He's got this one in the bag. I like to see that.
Well, the thing is, he's going to have to push him off the hill right now if he wants.
I think if he sent all those goals back, he should have gotten small pus too.
But he's already having such a problem. He's already having such a problem microing. If he was able to micro better and was winning on that side, I would agree. But I don't think small pus help when you're struggling microing so hard.
I think what he might be going for here, you can see he split up his pus into 2 groups. So he's got a pus in either of those Gaul groups. I think he's going to straight in rush the Gauls and just hope that the dwarf throws and hits the wrong Gaul and he gets the pus off.
This brings up another valid question. Are they Gauls or goals?
Goals all the way. They're goals.
Definitely goals.
Not in Canada.
Yeah, I mean the Canadian spelling, who knows?
On the
flag contested.
Okay, I like Asmo is keeping an archer in reserve here, which is smart.
Did he just puss a J-man?
He did.
Puss the J-man.
He just pussed the J-man. Oh my god.
Contested.
This is what happens when...
okay, LSO returned the favor and used both pus on a J-man.
Oh, he's going to kill the dwarf. Both dwarfs dead.
Yeah, both dwarfs dead.
Literally, LSO used. Oh no, okay, he's one puss. He just pussed his own goals. But I think Asmo won.
might have this one. Yeah, he has this.
We talked about this, and I forgot which of you said it because I only care about myself. But one of you said in the pregame, we were watching Asmo play against Shyster, and you said he's got to go in aggressive early. If he doesn't go in aggressive, he's going to get out microed. So whoever said that, go ahead.
That was me.
I
I said Asmo has to turn the tide early, or LSO will just wear him down.
From that same standpoint, thus far, with our matches, it seems like Asmo shines like on the rush flanks, and that's kind of how we've been using him. So that's probably just wise captaining from Limp to some degree, but it seems to be where he shines. Getting out to.
Is Asmo doing better now that the pressure of the match is off, and he's just like, screw it, I'll just rush?
Now, do we pull a surprise best of 11 series on him if Asmo starts to?
Withhold the money.
Question.
Let me withhold the money.
Well, we would need double or nothing from our sponsors. Which we have on the line.
Actually, I gave this exact advice to Asmo yesterday. I told him that LSO. Did I say LSO or Asmo? I gave this advice to Asmo. I told him that LSO does play like a passive little bitch, and that he needs to rush and be the aggressor. And it's good to see that he finally took the advice that game.
All right, so I'm going to take this opportunity while we still have, again...
Well, you say that, and then he picks a map where you can't really be the aggressor on Badlands. Because, it's 2 locks.
I disagree.
Max melee.
I disagree. You could trade Max melee.
He switched. He just switched to Trow.
You know what he did?
Smart.
This is what happened. Asmo read Thierry in the chat criticizing him for not picking big maps. That's what happened, and he finally realized, oh shit, I should not try to micro this kid. I should just outthink him.
LSO with a little bit of a witty response.
As witty as LSO gets. I like LSO. We're working on his culture. He doesn't know who Michael Jordan is. He claims to not like, in air quotes, musicals, as if it was all like a single thing. Like we're trying to help him out. It's a work in progress.
But he just dropped the Ja Rule joke, and that's pretty funny.
Ja Rule was his biggest backer, to be fair. Okay, let me update the game title here. So it is 1-5 here, final game. Good luck, contestants. Clank, flag rally if I had a trow. And it is trow adrenaline. If you mispronounce it, I swear I'm going to boot you. Initial thoughts, 10 seconds. Who wins and why?
Well, initial thoughts, I'm going to go ahead and give it to LSO just because of presets, because, it's flag rally. It's, how do you win flag rally without presets? I don't know. Period.
Okay, Adren, we're going to look at the trades in just a second. Let's let them trade first, and then we'll get your opinions here. Okay. Surprisingly, I see 5 trow. I wasn't expecting that from Asmodian. Let's see what we get from LSO. It's taking him a while. I'm worried maybe it's past his bedtime. His reflexes are slowing down. Let's Adrian, 20 seconds. Tell me about Asmo's trade.
All right, Asmo's trade. Let's take a look. Big takeaway here is a bunch of Solus and very few Mauls. I think that's going to play to his disadvantage here in the long run. Would have been better to see some defense and. If he was on the other side of the map, then the Solus might make a little more sense on that the home hill, guarding his middle flag. But I don't see the point of him here unless he's going to do an aggressive kind of mid play.
But look at LSO's.
Yeah, what do you think about LSO's trade here? It looks like an all melee rush. Is this just rubbing salt in the wound?
He said he's been playing Ja Rule. No, I don't think this is an all melee rush. I think he's going to post up on a flag with the Mauls.
I think unless he does a Maul rush, I don't see how he can win the long game if the other guy is solo.
Not enough Mauls for a Maul rush, though. That's the thing. No, it might be. Yeah, if you put him up front and rush
you have one Mort total, you're just asking to get pecked away with artillery unless you rush somewhere. So
he's not rushing, though. He's playing the flag game here.
Yeah, guys, I just want to point out, this isn't coming from me. People are saying... and it's Twitch chat. I'm getting DMs on Facebook, Instagram, OnlyFans. The key is to avoid talking over each other. Just future state when we're doing these in the future. Like let's try to trade off to where we're not both talking at the same time. Clank, what are your thoughts about this initial distribution of units?
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Like we've got.
You mean like on the map?
Yeah, we got 3 trow
I was
north.
Like,
we got 5 trow mid. Like, how do you see this playing out?
So a little bit of an interesting opening from LSO. I guess he's chosen the North flag to be his anchor, and Asmo's crossing middle now. I mean, to be honest, I've not seen enough 1v1 flag rally trow games to do, but I think the interesting things that we're looking at right now are that they're going to have to worry about their microing of the south flank, where LSO has 1 trow versus a no trow flank. And then LSO has
big
another
mistake here.
trow that's
Big
kicking
mistake here
near
from
south
Asmo.
of
Sorry to
mid.
interrupt. He could have killed that
south
trow.
of mid. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say something here that I'm surprised to find myself saying. For perhaps the first time in my 12 years,
LSO's losing a trow possibly. Oh, no.
As a myth player, I'm gonna give credit to Adrenaline, and I know Twitch chat. I can't believe it either. Adren, has knowledge of so many different 1v1 strategies that, he's like, you know what, I've seen this. This is Ja Rawl's flag rally strat. Like, why does he know? I don't even know why he knows that. It's amazing. It's like Rain Man. So I want to shout out to Adren, and then Clank, I'll kick it over back to you.
Well, LSO getting a couple free kicks in the middle right now. He's just been out microing, out game awarenessing Asmo this entire series. And I say that with love to Asmo. I don't mean to denigrate it, but you gotta call it how you see it. And right now, LSO is making a play for the Northeast flag, which is undefended. And right now, Asmo's just turtled up mid. I don't really know. Oh, he maybe microed just southwest there. He got the southwest flag. Trow mid. And yeah, I mean, I think that they're all just kind of picking their battles across the map right now. Asmo's now pushing with the 4 trow across mid.
Asmo, actually, I think this is interesting. Asmo just got Victor imminent before LSO. So if Asmo wants, Asmo could literally go
next to the souls
all D.
Yeah.
He's got souls on the soul hill. At this point, he really should just pull everything back to the flag, right?
He has to. He's got more artillery too. Like, he can hold off a rush with this much artillery. He's got to post up. This could be his time to shine, boys.
Little criticism. He's got 4 mercs. He's wasting them in the southwest. It's minor, not a big deal. Wouldn't make a big difference in the scheme of things.
Side note, with those 4 mercs, what I think I would do is I would try to flank them west behind the base and try to get in position to take the northwest flag when LSO makes his push for my home flag.
Yeah, I mean, literally anything would be better than them guarding the flag that also already has. So it is a low bar. I do like the shadowing here. I mean, he basically just eliminates these, but you could be shadowing with this if you cross them back south. So, not a great choice either way.
I have a question for Adren. What do you think about Asmo bringing the Solus off the hill right now?
I don't like it. I'd like to see him fall behind the flag and defend it from behind.
He's doing a 360 defense when he could actually just leave a few token units on the flag and give himself a lot of space at the bridge.
That's a valid point.
The thing he's got to realize here is that LSO has no warlocks. So yeah, if he puts them on that hill, they're pretty much untouchable. And another side note, what I would have done if I were Asmo with those 4 mercs southwest is just grab them and just click once on that mort north and just try to kill that mort, take it out of the game.
Now, if you're LSO right now, I mean, you have a ton of time. I don't know if he considered flanking something south. I mean, if I were him, I would try to do a 360-degree encirclement before rushing, just because we know that Asmo isn't going to be able to keep up with the
But Adren has so much melee, not here. He has, Adren, Asmo has so much melee. Sorry, Adren, clearly association there. Has so much melee south.
What are these Solus doing?
Well, it doesn't even matter, though. Like, with this many mercs, he's got 8 mercs. LSO could rush this. Like, the souls aren't going to have time to do anything. Like,
oh my god, that died. What?
It doesn't matter. This is over. He's got all that melee, not here. You know what?
On a merc pack. He just dudded on a full merc pack. Oh gosh, that's brutal.
LSO is demonstrating his inability to melee. He should have won this fight a little bit harder. But it's hard to criticize the man after he went 6-1. You know, against the self-proclaimed second best Myth 2 player of all time. An 18-year-old.
Self-proclaimed. Oh, is he going to lose this? Wow.
Surely not. Oh, he did. Oh, God. I warned him. I told him, don't try to do it.
Honestly, if I were Asmo and I lost that, I would have fully blamed that dud.
That's why
100%.
Wow. That was awesome.
Holy shit, if he ran off there and let those two mercs kill those, two Nulls kill those two mercs, that would have been something.
Man, at this point, I think as donors, we have to demand an 11-game series because, I mean...
He's pulling it back a bit.
Well, so Clank, here's what you do. Like, here's the thing. Like, we don't invalidate the prize. LSO has won. Now, if you want to do a double or nothing best of 5, I could entertain it.
I think at some point, when it comes to double or nothing, if I'm going to put more money down, I want to see new contestants, or they're going to have to start putting their own money on the line to make it really interesting. If they want to start doing some double or nothing.
I mean, I'd give them the option. I mean, we do have Thierry in the chat. I'm sure he hasn't had his morning calisthenics. He hasn't warmed up. He's got, he's not able to join right now. I totally understand that. Our good friend Thierry.
I'll happily put money up for Adren versus Thierry right now. Put money up for that,
I would take Adren versus LSO. We're on a roll here. Clank and I are killing it. Everyone agrees.
Well, Thierry could get winner. Thierry could get winner of Adren versus LSO.
That's true. That would give Thierry time to train.
Karma, I don't know if you saw that, but in-game LSO just said Karma was right. I suck at melee.
If you thought that LSO was not listening to every word we said this entire time, you're crazy. He heard me say it, and then he said it in-game.
Why do you think his trade took so long? Why do you think his trade took so long on this? He was looking at the trade that the other dude had. So.
Yeah, waiting out that 1 minute delay. I fucking called the stream snipe.
LSO's mom is on a laptop telling him Asmo's trade.
So Blade, we haven't heard from you in a while. Perhaps because you're on mute and you're checked out here. Any overall thoughts, in this last minute while we waste time?
I'm gonna go make a martini.
I think the question is, what does this mean for the rest of MWC? Hot Squad beat us 3-2, and frankly, they kind of had our number. But now all of a sudden, the momentum's turned.
It is true. I mean, I would also say...
I don't think it's true. I think that's a very arguable point of mass.
Clank, everyone knows that in that match, I was wearing the number 45. I've since stolen the number 23 from Thierry. And I gotta say, I'm back, and I think that if we're lucky enough to rematch in the DE, the results will reflect that.
Well, yeah, Clank, I'm not surprised you don't think the momentum's turned. I wouldn't see it either if I was on your team, but this is a pretty decisive victory.
Yeah, I didn't play in the game versus you guys, so I can only imagine that it would have been 5-0 if we actually had.
Correct. Do you think you're going to help?
Wasn't Jordan at his best as number 12?
Okay, so question here, while we still have everyone here, and also we all know you're listening. First of all, good games. I mean, Asmo and Elso, I want to give you both a shout out. Both of you participated.
They showed up.
You helped with the hype. You guys were memeing. Neither of you took it too seriously. I suck at 1v1, and if I'd done this, I would have done worse than Asmo, as demonstrated by Elso beating me handily on my best map, 2-0. So again, very good. So congrats to you guys. So the question is, we're here. Literally all-time high Myth stream views, 32, as far as I'm aware. Paris will probably correct me.
I think 33 was our peak, was it not?
Maybe so. I'm not worried about my fans.
33, look at that.
Look, Adren, I'm focused on...
Peak was 36.
Delivering. Are we going to have LSO Adren right now? Best of 7 for money. Are we going to do it?
Money match. Money match.
Money match. Well, I don't need your money. I'd do it for fun. But yeah.
All right.
LSO. Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
That.
I'll pay myself.
What's your password, Karma?
Look, I'll pay myself for this fucking great casting and content that I've generated for that $100. Let's see if LSO is willing to step up and take the plate.
Karma, will you PM me the password?
How about I just show you on the stream? The password is presets.
Oh, that's what somebody said.
Yeah, I literally blared it out. All right, so we're doing Adren versus LSO now, huh?
Oh, I don't know if I have a full 7-game series in me, though. Maybe like a best of 3, quick best of 3 or something.
Oh,
hey, what happened to Asmo?
Best of 3, get out of here.
Fine, best of 5, I don't know.
No, Asmo's here. He just joined the Observer team, which he should. I will kick adrenaline. All right, let's give me just a second here. I'm going to consult Twitch chat for a second.
You know, just as a side note, you know, I sincerely hope Asmo doesn't take anything I said to heart. I was a little harsh on him. You know, he put it all out there today. And, you know, the job of a commentator is to commentate. It's to look for flaws. It's to look for good plays, bad plays. And, you know, I just had to call it how I see it. Great teammate, though.
I respect Asmo. I picked him for this match. He completely embarrassed me for making that pick. And I don't feel emotions, but if I did, it would be anger and disappointment.
I mean, that seems a little bit hard.
Is that straight from Asmo himself?
That was WWO. So I'm getting hammered here by Paris. You know, again, he's memeing me for being too inept to expand the screen for chat so that they can read it. I don't see where I can even do that here. So you know what, Paris? We're gonna have to do that next time. You know, I'm sorry. You're right. I just can't do it.
Quiet down, girl.
Oh, is that? Hey, Mrs. Clank. Mrs. Clank, where are you at?
Oh no, that's not Mrs. Clank. That's Mrs. Karma over there.
I mean, dude, my wife is hiding from me because she's like, "This is the weirdest shit I've ever seen."
It's not on my stream. I don't know who's.
Okay, maybe it's Mrs. Blade. Who knows? Okay.
This is Blade talking to my cat.
Oh, okay.
So La Cucaracha picked game 1. Oh, and CU doxed Blade by revealing that it was him. He picked something called, what is this, Rising Phoenix? I guess R.I.P. Still the Bacon. What is that? You know what? Never mind.
It's the tree trunk free-for-all map. It's really good.
Let me see if I even have that. What is the plugin called?
So what's this about adrenaline playing me now?
I don't know. People are pushing for it for some reason.
All right.
Yeah, I haven't 1v1 in like a fucking year.
It's all good. Probably still get the better of me on some. I started playing real poorly towards the end.
No, I think you're still playing pretty well there. But
dude, that rush, I had 5 tro, all the same mercs and more mauls. Killed all of his Mercury at first, and then went into 5 tro plus melee versus 5 tro.
He had
lost the melee. So
he had a out on you too. That would have been much worse for you.
All right,
LSO's in the chat. It's all over now.
Yeah, this is too complicated. Let's get serious. You know, LSO as a winning and defending champion, you're on the defense, so Adrenaline gets to make the first pick.
Sweet. Well, give me like 2 minutes. I'm going to take a piss, have a quick smoke, and refill my drink.
That was 2 pre-excuses.
That was the most adrenaline sentence ever made.
Dude, he was like, look, let me highlight here.
As the veterans of multiple high-level play of the series we just watched, how does that compare to when you were actually active and good back in the mid-aughts?
Do you want to take this off, Karma, or should I start?
I mean, I'm sorry. I was trying to talk and there was lots of talking. So who said what?
Judging from everyone who's in the room right now talking, I'm the only one qualified to actually comment on what you guys just mentioned.
Yo, shut the fuck up, Lynn.
Oh yeah, in 2005 you were anything other than a World War II? No.
That doesn't mean shit. You're a bitch.
Yes. Yes, it does. So, what I would say from actually when there was actual 1v1 competition back in the mid 2000s, when you had GKG, Chohan, Shyster, Raziel, Eric, Tiri, CW, myself, Nemesis, all playing nightly. Those games that we just witnessed were incredibly sloppy. I would say that LSO was much more prepared. He actually had his unit spread. He was clearly using presets quickly and in a correct manner, but they were sloppy games by comparison to when 1v1 was actually a
Dude, here we go with fucking
often played game type.
Rivers
Fury.
fucking talking about the good old days.
Fury, I would like
This does
to
seem like
comment.
some gatekeeping.
I'd like Thierry to comment in the myth chat here about Limp just casually lumping himself in with, Thierry and Eric and Johan. I mean,
that was a sly little.
To my knowledge,
think
Limp has
Thierry
never
needs
been
to get on the
considered
voice.
an elite 1v1 player. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'd love to hear from Drizzt himself.
Just for context, I defeated Limp in a 1v1 tournament. Limp, you left that out.
For sure. That's something where I'm not saying that I was the best, but I would actually play 1v1 with these people back in the day all the time. When Myth World Cup 2002 did not actually happen, that's what we would do every night. We would play 1v1 games. I mean, probably the best I could do is maybe beat Bullet Tooth Tony, Nemesis. But no, we still played all the time. But that doesn't mean I didn't actually witness high-level 1v1 play. That's not what we just saw.
I mean, I don't
hold
think
on.
that anybody's arguing that it
LSO
was
played
flawed.
fine. LSO deserves the credit for the win. He had
Correct.
he had multiple presets. He flanked when he needed to. He had his spread melee. It was just a little bit of disorganization on the flag rally, but
Correct.
For the most part, he played like what I would think would a 1v1 should play.
Yeah,
The eternal,
I would
this
agree
is
with
the
you. He
eternal
was-
myth question, right? Were they better 10 years ago? You've been asking that every 10 years.
I'm just
I think
glad.
for the last,
yeah.
I'm just glad Flatline isn't here. Let me just speak on behalf of everyone and just say,
I think we
If
can all agree
Flatliner
with you
was
there.
here, he'd be trying to
Dharma.
seduce LSO via voice.
Probably.
For the 8th time. Yeah.
Flatline
Honestly,
would
forget-
throw his
forget
grinder
the last
profile.
7.
all right. So
I think
Adrin gets first pick here. And look, guys, we can't have 10 people talking at once. So if we're gonna comment, if we're just gonna shit talk, that's fine. If we're gonna try to commentate, then we have to figure out who's doing what.
I'm here for my interview.
Oh yeah, let's do a post-game interview. That's a great question. So I would like, if you don't mind, I'd like WWO and Limp to do a post-game interview with LSO.
Sounds good. Start it off, Woodward 1.
Okay, LSO, we've teamed a lot, and I've seen you grow. My concerns with you are just settling down, taking it all in. How do you feel that you played? If you saw your maximum potential before the match was played, how do you think you did?
For the first few games, really well, but I really fell off on that 6th, 7th one. When he rushed me on Grave, I was not ready for that, and you saw I traded way different than I normally do for Grave. I was getting a little too cocky. I traded 2 dwarves and tried to satchel bomb him. Just didn't work out. I should have just kept, a normal trade there. So getting too cocky, I played really bad on that one. And his rush was actually really good, in my opinion. And on the 7th one, that was probably the worst melee I've ever done. I was up probably 30% in the melee there and lost it.
Sorry, I try to hit it off, but then you fuckers come with these blatant lies. That is a very typical melee performance. You were masterful. You beat me 2-0, but in an all melee tournament, you might be last place. So we're gonna work
Not
on
last
it.
place.
Kiri's gonna train
Karma,
you.
you've known me for 3 weeks. That was my worst melee. I've had some really good melees. I've had some really bad melees. I'm by no means a good meleeer. I'm more of an artillery person, and I'll say that 10 out of 10 times. But that melee, everyone can agree. Even Maul's Leisure could agree it was really bad. But
Yeah.
I think you did pretty good for your potential.
Thank you.
I think that was pretty evident just with the percentage differences that that was not a good performance. But I will stand for you and say that when you have war packs, you do know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Dark melee is not your forte.
No, not at all. Dark. I'm a much better light player than Dark, and Dark melee is probably the worst thing I'm at in this game.
I will say, I mean, this was a good performance. It was nice to see you use your presets well. I mean, Asmodian, for as good a player as he is in the micro that he has, and the strategy that he employs as a captain. I mean, I was constantly looking at his melee just clumped messily behind his units, whatever he was utilizing, and it was just kind of sloppy looking. That's not how top level 1v1 games are supposed to look. You don't want to see your warriors. You want to see your warriors and warlocks all mashed together in a block.
Fair enough. Not good etiquette. Let's rewind it. Let's again. I wanna say thank you to both participants. Asmo showed up, didn't back down. Tried hard, played it out to 7 games, didn't have to.
Yeah.
So thanks, Asmo. LSO.
Yes,
good performance.
Very entertaining from both sides.
Yeah, for sure. So all good. At this point, Adrenaline has now had enough time to be able to claim, if he eventually loses, that he smoked 7, bongs worth of marijuana and drank a bottle of whiskey. So, Adren, are you ready to make a map pick?
Dude, I'll play LSO. Let's fucking go.
I'm
I'll
back.
slap him.
Sorry, I kind of had to take a shit too.
So the post excuse now is that he forgot to wipe. He had shit on his hand and he missed it.
He's playing with chafe.
Okay, so here's a real thought. I mean, we could have Adren and Paris play. Paris just offered to play. And the winner plays LSO next week.
Oh, that was Sam.
Oh, it's Sam. Okay. Maybe question for the group.
Do I sound like Paris with that fucking dumbass Boston accent?
You're just drunk, so you're like slurring all your words, which is Paris 90% of the time. So that's where
this is look. I've never been on mid voice with any of you people, so I know none of your voices other than Adren's mild Canadian.
Phil sounds like fucking this, like he's from fucking Boston, guy.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was solid.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So again, I mean, if no one answers, Sam, would you like to play Adrenaline?
Not Adren. He'll clap me when I'm drunk, but I'll clap LSO when I'm drunk.
I just watched me beat Asmo by like 70%.
Yeah, the question is, if we let Sam play LSO right now, I think we're letting Adren off the hook, and I think that's a big problem.
You know what? That's a fair point. That is a fair point.
Yeah. You can let Adren play.
Adren is already quaking in his fucking boots. He's already making pre-excuses.
Because I went and took a shit and refilled my drink.
I don't know who's talking, but I'm fully on board. I'm fully on board. Like, who made the point Adren's quaking in his boots? I want to memorize. Is that Clank?
Yeah.
Of course
that's Clank. Who else would say that?
Two brains, fucking same wavelength as always. The Clank take and karma.
I mean, isn't it poetic that Adren is 39, LSO is 19, basically double the age. It's age versus youth. I mean, we have all the storylines here. So I think.
How old is Asmo? Like 34, 5, 6?
I think he's 32.
Guys, why aren't we bringing age into this? Let's just move on.
All right, Adren, pressure's on you.
Says the oldest person in the room.
Look, 5-0, baby.
Somebody just asked, where is Bainbridge Island?
Yeah, I'm getting my fans here. Like, when you hear this voice, it makes sense that you want to know this voice in person. So I just want to ask to all the people out there, please respect. We just have an online relationship. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not trying to suck your dick. Get away from me.
Adren, pick
what up?
A map. You're the underdog here. Elso's the reigning myth champion.
Ooh, pick a map. All right, I'm gonna go with Tyrion's request and pick something bigger. Let's go with let's go with the Desert Elmoth 8 minutes.
The fact that I won that Clash game was a surprise, honestly.
That's a bitch.
Yeah, you mortared yourself. I mortared
myself 4 times. Those were all auto shots.
How about we put it out to the fans? What do the fans want to see us play?
Okay, I always feel like small maps are better, but
if we had a competent Discord host, he'd throw up a poll in the main forum with like, fans, type your votes, but Limp's busy banning Jarl and these other poor people. So is UT on, Adren, and how much PT do you guys need?
Of course UT is on, and minute 30 is probably enough.
All right. No. And then again, Adren, as the person stepping up here, you get to pick 2 of any of our esteemed hosts tonight. to commentate your match. Only those two will commentate. Who do you pick?
Oh, let's get Sam in there for sure.
Yeah, obviously me. Like, let's be real.
Okay, that's one of two.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the only one.
Who's going to cut us down the most?
I'll just commentate.
Okay, Sam and Clank. I feel like Clank really has a lot of opinions about adrenaline, and I would like to hear them on this cast. So Garrick needs to join Adren or me or leave, and then we can get started.
Do I have to leave the chat for this?
I would recommend it, but I don't care.
I don't really care either. I kind of want to hear what Clank has to say because I'm probably not going to watch this later.
Okay, Seeker, I just want to say, number one, thank you to Seeker for understanding that Garrick was screwing things up. Number two, Seeker is going to be doing the post-game commentary on this match.
And you know what? I feel like we should be allowed to commentate during our own game, too. I think me and LSO should be in on this.
Well, you don't make the fucking rules. You don't make the
fucking
fucking rules.
I think you guys should mute yourselves.
I was about to say, I don't think we should say anything, but
Adren, you just gave me more fucking ammunition to go off on your bitch ass. Okay.
Fair enough.
Go ahead and mute.
Clank talks a big game, but can't even back it up. So
go ahead and hit the mute button, push them off,
guys.
and get the 1v1 in. Okay.
This is the Karma Show.
I think we need to utilize the same rules we just had before because it's getting messy.
Yes.
I think it should be me and Limp to commentate.
Okay, we should actually probably get out of the voice then because there's going to be some shit like giving away.
Get out. Also, is going to be checking the Twitch channel so that he cheats anyways. But we all know
everyone, shut up. I will boot everyone.
I'm
and
disconnecting
commentate
right now.
Get out.
So I expect you to do the same.
All right,
yeah,
everyone.
I'm
mute.
leaving the Discord, and I had the Twitch closed the whole time too.
Shut up, Elsa. No one cares.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Sam and Clank are the only two allowed to talk. I will be muted. Everyone else
Karma,
shit, or I will
you're
ban
secretly
you.
just trying to get out of commentating right now. I think you've run out of things to say, Karma. I think that's your problem.
I think Limp should be in here too, to be honest.
I don't care what any of you think. Next person to question, I will literally ban. All right, we're going.
Sam, what's up, man?
What's up? Are you a doctor?
That's what they tell me. I don't know. It remains to be seen.
Okay. All right. Let's commentate. What do you have to think? What do you have to say? What do you have to think?
Well,
I'm pretty
they haven't
drunk.
Traded
but,
yet, so I have no thoughts.
Okay.
I do have the thoughts.
What is your biased perspective on the match?
So I like to think that Adren is going to win this going away because I think that LSO is a little bit of a precocious little bitch, and I don't think that I don't think that that's going to surprise him hearing me say that. And meanwhile, Adren, I've played with him since '98. We may not always agree on things, but he's always been a decent clicker. So if he gets embarrassed by LSO,
clicker,
today,
like the remote control, like the clicker.
We might have to take you off the commentary if you can't come up with wittier sayings than that. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to work on that. But I mean, if he can't out-click LSO tonight, especially when he claims that he's sober, I mean, he has no excuses. Even though he will have excuses, he is Adren. But I mean, he's not gonna find a better opportunity. So if LSO comes out and beats Adren tonight, I mean, it's really gonna be an eye-opening thing. And I don't know how much more shit talk I could possibly say to LSO, but I'm going to have to ratchet it up like tenfold after that.
Yeah, I can't possibly imagine that he's going to take this away. I mean, it depends. Like, LSO has obviously been captaining way more than Adren, right? So he has that sort of perspective. Like, Adren's just going into this sort of like, okay, 1-versus-1 mentality. I never really choose these strategies. What am I going to pick? But I think but also doesn't take into consideration of what a 1v1 strategy is. So I think that might not play to his benefit.
So we have several interesting things happening right off the bat. We have Adren, it looks like, went max whites, and he might be sinking all of them, even though he has a J-Man. I don't know if he has the J-Man just...
he's definitely sinking all of them.
He's going to... Well, he might... But what I'm saying is, after he does the initial goal push right here, he might try to pull some goals back, and he might heal later.
I doubt that.
Just keep an eye out for that. He holds that possibility.
No, he's putting him to the north side along with some Thrall, which is a good strategy. And watch Adren. Adren is scouting for any potential white pushes because Adren knows that this is all about whites getting in the water.
Well, you're making a good point. And I just want to commentate for the people that may not have played TFL, but back in TFL, which Adren played extensively before making the jump to M2, but this is how every desert game, whether it was Terry's, Elmoth, whatever it was, every desert game in TFL started like this, with you trying to cross goals over and trying to scout for whites, because whites played a huge part of the desert games in TFL just due to the different physics. The dwarfs dudded much more, the archers missed much more.
I appreciate
that.
that.
Much more. So it was much more important to sink your whites. So we're actually seeing a little bit of a blast from the past from Adren, and I like to see that.
Yeah, but that's the essence of an 8-minute last man game on desert. Like, he's fully aware that that's the game type, right? Like, he's going after the short, quick, whites matter more than.
But from that standpoint, I guess the point that I'm making is Adren did it, LSO didn't. I think that's where you're seeing Asian experience come into play, because Adren did have that experience with TFL.
No. But I'm not saying it's from. I'm not saying it's from TFL. Like, we're not making the difference of 97 versus 98, dude. Like, that doesn't make any difference. That's pure experience over the last 20 years. It's not.
Yeah.
What happened in TFL versus what happened in.
Well, I guess my question is, was this Adren's pick, or was this?
Yeah, absolutely. He said last man desert 8 minutes, and I said that was a bitch ass pick.
Think, so what I'm saying is, I think that Adren has taken his TFL experience and he's kind of taken it down the road, and that's why he kind of specializes in this 1v1 map. But
yeah, dude, he sunk all 6 whites, and LSO has no synced whites. This game is over before it started, dude. This is
Yeah. I'm actually eagerly looking forward to seeing LSO get blown up. Like,
he also has no dwarfs, so LSO is putting his whole game on the fact that he has 4 pus versus LSO. Dude, this game is over. It's already done, and we'll see that. Anyways, that's my hot take. We'll see how it plays out. He's got a couple Thrall packs. It looks like he has overall more melee, but I don't know.
Yeah, if anybody needs to go take a shit right now, just to let you know, the next 4 minutes are not going to contain much action. Both players are basically going to dance. I think Adrena is doing a little bit of a goal feint right now, just to try to distract the archers while he gets some health advantage. LSO's sinking some Thrall. Little does he know that's not going to really help him, because he didn't tag any of the whites. So really, LSO doesn't know it right now, but he's basically doomed. So
I'm going to put the percentage that Adren wins by 35%.
Okay. Just due to the fact that, let's see. You're saying that you think that he'll have 35% remaining at the end of the game.
Totally.
All right, I'll actually go with 45. I'll go with 45.
I was gonna say if not more. That was my conservative guess.
Now the question is, if you're Adren right now, you're feeling pretty good. You've sunk all 6 whites.
He knows LSO doesn't have any others.
Well, true. So you know that Ku is watching. Do you try to land white from behind? I think if it were me, I certainly would, because I know that I have the commanding water advantage. I think I would try to sneak a white north and sneak it around LSO to see if I could get the land white, just for the little. I mean, it would be legendary. I mean, you would.
That was a dumb move on LSO's part. He tried to pus the water and it bounced. Ooh. Nothing. Didn't do anything. Oh, it's moving. Adren's white. No, nothing. So he wasted 2 pus there out of his 4 total. This is GG's, boys.
Not what you want.
Yeah, Adren could be more aggressive here and use some of his gold pack.
No reason. No reason.
Yeah, no reason, but he doesn't. He can just play with his archers at this point. Like, I just don't like the conservative game. It's like, Why not dominate? Oh, here he goes. Just like I said.
Move over.
Oh god, Elsa is gonna get clapped. Plus he has no dwarves. Oh god. I don't understand the play for no dwarves.
Well, what I mean, this is, to be honest, this is a specialist pick, and Adren clearly had a game plan going in, and we're seeing
Yeah,
the
but
fruition of
when would you trade for no dwarves on a map like this? Like, how could you potentially think that was a good idea?
I guess what he was thinking was that there'd be so many archers that they'd be neutralized, and maybe he thought that Adren was going to max pus. I mean,
yeah, I suppose you're right, but I don't think any individual is going to grab 12 pus. I mean, that's what I mean, I wouldn't think that.
I mean,
so we have a minute
it is
remaining.
a dread, though.
What does that mean?
True.
It is a dread now.
Yeah, can we ban this noob that just unmuted himself? And so basically we have a minute left. We're about to see things start to spice up. LSO's trying to sink some Thrall. I guess the point of that is to try to get some flanking maneuvers going. I mean, he's got fucking 6 whites that are about to just rain fucking hell on him. This is going to be great to watch. I hope everybody's really excited about this.
What's your favorite Quiznos sub?
I think it would be either the Black Angus steak or maybe the honey bourbon chicken. Both very good choices. I haven't eaten it since I worked there like however many years ago. But
I just wanted to know for reference. Oh, well, that's what goes without anyone saying.
Flag tested.
To be honest, I've seen a lot of closed Quiznos. I don't know how they're doing as a company at this point.
Alright, so LSO is making some good moves here with all this, but we all know how this story is going to unfold right here. Wow.
So now blow it, Adren, pop it. What the fuck, dude? Oh, he's trying to take him off the flag. Okay, makes sense. Good play. The J-Man though, perfectly positioned to contest. But little does he has the next wave of whites. I think he probably has these whites on preset because they.
This reminds me of that buzz was huge, dude.
Oh my.
Huge buzz.
He just Tiger Woods.
Trans moving is.
Flagpole.
Oh, this is actually huge.
Oh, but here's some of the whites though. Check out this white. Oh my god, this white's gonna be good.
Oh,
not as good as I thought. No, but he's still got like 3 more.
Oh, Adren's not.
Wow.
Both of his warriors are not in the fucking play right now.
Dude, get your war pack in there, bro. What are you doing? He's still
Here
got
we go.
Yeah, here we go. And now he's gonna trap him. Yeah. Although LSO, considering he was going against 6 whites, he's doing admirable.
Yeah,
Adren still has
really
another one.
fucked this up at the end. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he's still got it.
I mean, he's still gonna win, but he definitely choked it at the end.
But you're seeing the tactics. Like, even if you don't do that great as a 39-year-old versus the clicky 19-year-old, your tactics kind of fix the game.
Well, that was definitely the point of this exact map.
All right, we have a special request from none other than Seeker to do a post game. So, Seeker, what do you got?
He's not even in this chat, dude.
Well, Seeker, why would you request to do a post game if you're not even in the chat? I mean, sounds like a fucking fail to me. All right. Well, Seeker, you're denied. No post game for you. LSO, your pick.
So your pick. He's not even in the stream, supposedly.
Yeah, I fucking typed it, Sam. Like, come on. How drunk are you?
Bro, I told you I was drunk, so.
Where Seeker failed, I'll pick up the slack if you'd like.
Sure, go ahead.
So that was a pretty interesting game. Adrenaline's experience shone through every second of that game. There was excellent microing, excellent distribution of his units and separating on presets. The white waves were just pretty masterful for what you need to do there. I'd say the only real drawback that he had was the lack of thrall, which almost ended up defeating him at endgame there. It was really a miracle that LSO was in that game whatsoever towards the end. But you could just see that LSO had not played Desert Elmoth 1v1 very much at all, which is kind of strange because that's sort of a classic.
It's a fair point. To be honest though, I don't know that I have ever played that 1v1. As somebody that is not a big 1v1er, I know LSO is not a big 1v1er. I will say also, I just want to call out, Adrenaline self-proclaimed himself to be, and I believe I'm quoting, the best PG 1v1er of all time. And while I'm saying that, he did just weave in a fourth pre-excuse. Haven't 1v1'd in a while, so my micro is probably shit right now. I appreciate it, Jared.
Yeah, he proved that at the end of the last game. But nonetheless, I think that when you talk about the best PG players, I don't even think of a Dren in the top 3, to be honest, and that's really not taking anything away from him. But when you think of good PG players in their prime, you think of Kron 1, you think of Kilgrath, players
Verminex,
like that.
honestly, too.
Verminex, yeah, I'd take him over Adren.
No way. You guys are tripping if you think that.
Verminex used to be excellent at that map. He was so good back in
just because he's good. Yeah, just because he's good. Okay, so he's good at 2003.
Also, let's just take a quick pause. I'm just looking at the stream, and I'm looking at the stream, and I'm looking at what's on the stream, and I think I know who the best Proving Grounds player of all time is. It's not Punctual. I think it might be me. I'm just throwing that out there. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe the winner of this match gets to play me.
I heard you got worked by LSO earlier.
I mean, you heard that from me. When I sabotage my own team captain by losing, of course I let LSO win. Like, what's wrong with you? Okay, Adren, LSO, are we ready? Let's see.
I would say that PG has been played so many times as a 1v1 map that even postulating like a top 5 is almost impossible.
Well, I mean, in a game that's 22 years old, that's probably true for everything. I agree with that. Like, it's kind of like the silly NBA debates these days.
It is our job to postulate, though.
It's what I'm paying you people for, is to listen to me postulate.
Now, Sam, not to take anything away from you, but I had to throw you on my fucking back last game. Okay, so can I get some help? This game, I need some.
I think
fucking play-by-play.
We're back to the tried and true.
Okay.
Let's go Blade as the Baron to do pregame analysis. If you're up for it, Blade, you can trade me and I'll do it if you'd rather commentate. And then Clank and I will chat. What do you think?
I like that arrangement.
Done. Okay, we are ready to go. If Seeker will check in.
Karma, do we have any feedback on our performances tonight? Because I really haven't. I can't tell if I'm. Not that I don't give a fuck. Let me just be honest. I don't give a fuck.
Well,
I think we're doing a good job.
I mean, look, I've gotten 37 new subscriptions on Twitch so far. I've gotten about 1,000 new subscribers on Twitter. So I mean, it's been pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
There was some positive feedback from Turi. That there was good commentating, so I think you guys are doing a good job.
Well, Blade, that's a fucking negative in my book, so thank you for ruining it. Okay.
Shut it down. Shut this shit down. Shut it down.
Wait, Blade said that?
Thierry said that. Or Blade was just talking, yes.
Who let Sam in this Discord? That's what I want to know. Okay, all right, moving on.
I'm in, baby. Let's go.
Karma, I can't believe you let me fucking drown for a whole fucking game, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're. I mean, I had. How did I know what we were getting into? Okay.
I think you guys have done great. There's been no empty spaces or silences when you guys are going at it.
I think Limp needs to be in this commentator.
That's because no one. There's no empty spaces because no one will let me talk. WWO. Blade, what are your thoughts on these two trades? And I'm gonna zoom in so you can answer.
Zoom in. I can't hear him. Zoom in.
Blade.
All right, there you go.
Oh, it looks pretty identical, right? I think except Dren has one less goal. So, but other than that, they've got the same arty trade. And LSO has one more warrior. So, they're pretty evenly matched here. LSO took 2 games from Asmo earlier, pretty decisively. So, he's a little more warm on this map. I would favor him.
Oh, Wayward One, I would totally agree with that statement you just chatted, by the way.
Yeah, just to appreciate Wayward One's shit talking, in game. As somebody who put in no effort and demanded to be, let in at the last minute, we graciously accepted. I know our seniors in this time and age of COVID are at highest risk, so
especially vulnerable.
That's right. You know what? You're welcome. I'm glad we let you participate. I'm sorry it may not have been enough for you. But in the meantime, Clank, who do you think has the advantage from here?
Flag captured.
Well, I think that the true advantage goes to all the healthcare workers out there. We're getting tons of free discounts. We're putting it all out there on the line every day. And it's really my pleasure. But what was the question?
Wow.
Back to analysis. I think that currently with the trades that I'm seeing, Adren has his dwarf a little bit more aggressive to start the game. LSO is a little bit more passive, as Adren predicted. I think that you're going to see Adren try to push the issue before too long, just knowing how LSO plays.
Yeah, and I disagree, just from a strategy perspective on PG, not with you, but with blocking lock shots with Trout early for no reason. He's not really under any threat.
But with the heals, though, if you're good with the heals in the late game, it's debatable.
Which is fair, but it's about pressure. So in my experience, in the higher level PG games I've watched, trial health, like if you're playing a Zur, or for instance a Tiri, any Trow health advantage allows them to really push.
Let's put this Karma. They're coming right behind Adren right now. He's just huge. Easily kicked. Oh,
well, we got to post it.
Does he see him? Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I
easily push.
That was never gonna work.
Huge
so
push.
I hate to criticize LSO.
More, bro.
Yeah, but to criticize LSO, right? Like
here we go.
You can't flank 2 goals behind all of the melee, right? Like he had no angle to actually get a pass.
You definitely can. That's totally false.
Man, we're seeing, not to interrupt you guys' musings, but we're seeing some really good micro right here. We just saw LSO microing in 3 different places at once. He was microing his goal, and then he got a lock shot to kill Adren's pus. Also, Karma, people in the stream are requesting that you zoom in a little bit.
Also noting that Dren has already used a preset excuse.
Already talking that shit.
He just mortared himself. All right.
All right, let's see what we got here.
For the friends in Twitch, you're welcome. Like, oh, there we go. I hope you saw that. There you fucking go. Bunch of fucking noobs. Their brains can't understand more of the map at once. Okay.
Well, that's why we're up here. They're down there.
Yeah, exactly. This is why you're watching this stream on a Friday night. Okay.
Yeah, this is why I come back after 13 years away and I already run this fucking place. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, look at this Tro health. Fucking Adren versus LSO. This is painful.
Sounds like a point I've already raised.
Oh, excuse.
So,
I think Adren's gonna come down to the RD game, and I think he's gonna win.
Ooh, that was a good lock shot by LSL. Let's see if it hits. I don't think it will. No.
He's gonna kick his lock right here.
Good kick. If LSO was a little bit more on his game, he would have healed and surrounded the Trow.
That's a thing that I've noticed this coming back. I have not seen a single heal trap, as far as I can tell.
I think that's a older thing.
Oh, this lock shot's gonna be huge right here from LSO.
Oh, LSO has him pinned.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but he's gonna get the block.
Oh, he got it, dude. He got it.
Dude,
Yeah.
why
I mean,
didn't he
fail
not
on
get the
Adren's
block,
part. It was probably why he
Oh.
took a break to smoke weed and
though? Oh, here
drink
comes
more.
the excuse.
That's
Here comes
what
the
happened.
excuse. He was taking a bong grip and he got fucking.
It's gonna be a repeat.
Okay.
He never makes a mistake like that.
There we go. Here we go. Best PG player. Let's see what you got, bud.
Here it comes.
He's got school behind him too.
Nice. You got yeah.
Oh, Adren.
Yeah.
Tested.
That's
Brutal.
it. Yeah, that's it. He's got a rush.
What? He's
What
confused.
do you mean? He walked right into it. Like, what is? Like, are you confused about the hit range? Like, what the fuck? Oh, and then just to rub it in, LSO has
Somebody, it's the columns. It's the columns on PG. He couldn't zoom out far enough because of the
It could
columns.
be the columns.
Oh no.
Here
like,
we
why are
go.
they
Here we
all
go. We're not even gonna watch. We're just gonna zoom in on the column.
GG. Yeah, GG, boys.
This is why Adrenaline lost.
Fucked up
You
preset
really,
threw me
you
so
can't
hard.
recover from bad presets. There's nothing you do at that point.
Yeah, yeah, when you recognize it before a fight, you can't recover from that.
80% to
do.
nothing. Oh man.
That's awesome.
Tied up now, and are we playing a best of 3 game? Actually, a pretty good series.
Okay, so from here, it's Adrenaline Spec. I gotta say that 80% win margin by LSO reminded me of something else, and it was my 82% and 81% wins over Genghis Khan. But back to the game. Let's see what the players are gonna pick.
Where is Genghis tonight? He's
So that too is I had a $100 bet with him, and he's not here. So
yeah, conveniently absent.
Karma, remember the MWCQR when I tried to land white you successfully? And you got scared and
I
ran
mean,
away?
if by successfully you mean that I had like more damage than all other trial players in the game combined, but your team managed to still win.
Then you just let me clap the rest of your team after that.
I don't care about my team. I play for ratios, and I was successful.
Okay.
Okay, Adren can't even fucking pick. He's still making excuses. Okay. Adren, pick.
Seeker is requesting an invite to the Discord.
Well, you people have invited all of the dregs of myth already. Like, why not invite another?
I don't know how to use Discord.
Okay, Adren says I should pick. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pick fucking Venus.
Venus.
I think we're gonna need to have a little bit
Venus.
more
You pronounced it Venus, bro.
Yeah, it's the
Venice.
best map on myth.
It's not Venus. Jesus. Have you never been to Italy? Jesus Christ.
Or California?
Where are you from, Karma?
Dude, everyone knows I grew up on a ranch in West Texas, raising cattle and shoveling cow manure. You know, I really am one with the people, if you know what I'm saying.
Dude, I'm gonna send a picture of this meat out to the Discord. Oh my god, this is looking good. Damn.
Is this someone that works at the steakhouse? I remember this.
No, that's literally Clank sending a dick pic to the Discord.
I'm smoking meat while Adren's...
we're getting the shit under control. Limp, Clank. This is the Limp and Clank show. Sam, shut the fuck up. Limp and Clank, take it away.
Why are you taking games off, Karma?
Okay,
I like your play-by-play.
Is Limp here?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll shut the fuck up, quote unquote. Let's go.
All right, let's take a look-see here.
What up, Limp?
How you doing? How's that meat looking?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna send a picture out right now. You gotta look at it.
Whew!
It's a little dark because it's nighttime and all, but
slathered in that little tapatio.
Oh, dude, the Tapatio slather.
Oh.
All right, I just sent it out. There you go. It's a little blurry. Whoops. I mean, I'm trying to commentate and smoke meat at the same time, but.
So looking at these trades right now, LSO's got 5 warriors and Dren has 5. It looks like they have
same
trade as far as I can tell. So
yeah,
You know, this is Venice,
Adren's flanking Puss immediately.
As we all know, we try to get these south plains on Venice, and the north of the map is
Get
pretty
the
much
wall.
ignored. You know, yeah, try and get those 2 ramps. Make use of those, get some of that height.
Would you say Venice is a more passive game? Because I think that would play into LSO's favor.
Well, he loves artillery, so that's definitely in his favor for sure. Adrenaline, as he has stated, he's deep into drinking right now, and LSO is just drinking Gatorade and having gummy worms. So he's got that sugar rush. So he definitely has that in his favor as well.
Now, the only thing, LSO is going on at least 4 hours without his mother's breast milk. So I don't know. He could be famished, and I'm not sure that he can perform under these sort of circumstances. So it's going to remain to be seen whether or not he can clicky as fast as he can.
That was a inexcusable Puss failure by Adrenaline right there. Just lost his goal for no reason.
He was probably too busy taking a shot with his right hand, and he deselected.
So now this is definitely, as we all know, with Venice, this is where basically the entirety of the match takes place. The archers dance, you trade artillery fire back and forth with the warlocks and try to sneak a Puss in and whittle each other down. So, you know, this is one of the more active maps in terms of how you have to pay attention to your multitasking and your micro simultaneously, but it also usually makes for a pretty boring watch.
Well, I will say that, like, if you know what you're looking for, though, it's one of the few maps where maybe 2 or 3 arrows can actually affect the game, like actually make the difference between a win and a loss. So if you get that last shot off with the archer on, say, your opponent's last warlock, you know, that could be the difference. So we'll just see. We'll see who can dodge the best here.
Right now, I'm liking LSO's multitasking. He definitely seems to be more on it. I like the way his army is set up a lot more. He's definitely advancing, so it's in his favor right now.
I mean, I'm counting right now, and I see LSO using probably 6 different presets right now at the same time. Pretty impressive.
How many presets do you usually use when you play? I try to knock in 4. 4 is my maximum.
Wow, Adren just taking this Puss straight into the fucking crotch of his warlock. Oh my god.
Not even just a movement at all.
Oh my god. Sometimes they just let you do it. When you're famous, they let you do it.
That have been a preset issue?
I don't think that was a preset issue. That was a fucking senility issue where he's fucking old and he doesn't know how to click right anymore.
And I just have to say, I hate to have to chime in. I hate to have to chime in, but Limp asked a very unfair question to Clank. Clank doesn't get enough units to use more than 2 presets on your team. So, like, asking him that question is really rude.
I get very mixed squads, you dumb bitch. I use about 5 every game, to be honest. Like, it's rare that I use less than 5. Wow. I think that using more than 5 is totally impractical because your left hand can't reach that far unless you're fucking Wilt Chamberlain fingering a girl. But
well, that's where you need to step into the new parts of Myth where you can actually assign your preset to your mouse wheel.
Yeah, I have not tried the alternate preset thing. I have not tried that. So
well, there's the alternate preset thing, and that's where you go to your numbers. But you can also just set your presets to your scroll wheel and just scroll through them on your mouse, and you don't even have to use your left hand for presets.
See, the thing is, I tried to switch to the right click control or the control click on the right click, and I ended up just killing myself repeatedly because I'm used to gesturing click with that, you know, since time immemorable. So I tried to like move my units and I just shot myself. So from that same standpoint, I think that you just can't teach old dogs new tricks like that. So I think if I tried to scroll my presets, I'd end up just like randomly selecting units when I try to zoom in and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Clank, can I cut you off just because no one cares anymore?
Yeah, thank you.
If LSO wins this, you know, who's beating him at 1-on-1? Do we have to call LSO the best 1-on-1er currently playing this?
No.
I mean, somebody has to beat him, otherwise we have to say
He went 2-2 against Thierry. You know, after the tournament, we might allow that match to happen. So right now, it could be argued that Mystery Men have the 2 best 1v1 players in all of Myth.
wonder
lot of good
what
at will
Hot
do
Squad is thinking right now when they're seeing this.
I'm not scared at all. Like seriously, like I'm watching fucking junior high cheerleading.
You know what I'm thinking about?
champions.
I'm thinking about all the times that LSO has been flagged by not paying attention because he's
Well,
too busy beefing.
You know,
Yeah,
Lim,
well, there's not that many
Paris,
flashbacks left.
actually.
look, Lim makes a
thinking of
really good
Paris.
point, and I want to talk about, why, we, Karma Incorporated chose to invest in this tournament, and it was really all an exercise in helping LSO understand that, he doesn't know anything about strategies, and his real value is by going out and killing the other team. So now, decrepit scrubs like Blade and myself, I'm going to speak for you, Blade. I think we're both in the same place.
Yeah.
It's fair.
We'll handle
Go
the
on.
captaining.
I think
we have to.
Yeah, I mean, you really want the person who's going to pay attention to the entire map most. And the person who is obviously so focused on multitasking his own unit to kill the other, how focused can you be on a goal pack stealing all your flags? Not as well as someone who's just paying attention to that.
Yeah, I mean, rumor has it that LSO actually makes presets of all of his teammates' units so that he can cycle back and forth and then criticize them when he sees them die, which, frankly, I find to be abusive behavior.
I mean, my biggest problem with LSO capping, and it happened like the third game I was back, and I realized I hate this kid, was he'll just randomly take your unit and then die with them. And I'm like, I could have done that. I could have died with my units. But I could have died better than what you're doing. And so I think he sucks as a captain, and I don't think I'd ever let him captain my team.
Bold
Actually, hear
words.
from Lim
Bold
on
words from
this,
Clank.
I'd like to hear a little bit about from Limp on this because Ska captained the game. He wasn't the best BC player. Was he? Was that what you guys were doing? You were putting the non-best BC player at captain?
In some respect, yes. I mean, Ska was just such a friendly
that
player.
was a cool shot, actually. Actually, a cool
Yeah, it
shot
was.
by Adren there.
Scott was a really friendly player, and he was also very bright too. But we had a lot of players on that team that were also pretty intelligent about strategy. So we all kind of we captained by committee in some sense. But Scott was definitely one of the weaker BC players, so we could kind of mitigate that by having him captain and really focusing on game types. And he would focus on, fast melee packs like goals and spiders and so forth to make sure that, we were never in jeopardy of losing the game via game type. And sometimes that's going to be your best strategy with a weaker player.
I'll comment on that. And I'll say that Scott was definitely a lot more intelligent in the macromanaging aspect than he was in the micromanaging aspect.
That's not to say he wasn't a good player. He was definitely still, he could hold his own in artillery battles and so forth. But
hey, he's not terrible, but that was his strength for sure.
For sure. And that's what you have to do sometimes is play to your strengths. I mean, LSO is by no means a bad captain. He's captained approximately 30% of all games that have happened over the past 2 months, maybe more than that actually by now. He definitely has a handle on a lot of the best trades for a lot of maps, and he understands how those strategies should be employed. But he does, his biggest fault seems to be getting caught up in BCing and getting ratios. When
and I'm gonna upset Karma here, but I think Turi had a good point, which is that it's hard to be a good enough captain. For the most part, captains are pretty even. So it might be that LSO should go into a BC role and have someone else handle that non-important role of captain.
I mean, if you want my honest opinion, we're in 2020. There's maybe about 6 or 7 of us who are even willing to captain all of you jackasses because you're all too lazy to do it. And none of us are great at it, to be honest. If you want to compare us to historically all the other captains who have been great,
Rabikins of the world.
Just question for Blade. Blade, of all the people on our team, I probably would be the least upset by that because I've never captained a competitive team, except for the time that I made Raz's team lose to the Hive in the Winter Series. So I agree.
Solid.
We're all mediocre captains.
Yeah. I don't really want to captain either because when we lose, obviously it gets blamed on the captain and everybody will have fun gaming LSO. That's just fun for everyone, right? But
True.
If I blow it, that's another finals loss I've blown, and that's just maybe too.
Hey, whose pick was this? Was this LSO's pick?
This was LSO's pick. He self-proclaimed it's his best pick. Thierry says LSO is probably the best 1v1 player on this map. Though Sam, probably thinks he could be him too.
this map. I hate this map 1v1.
Wait, what did you say about me, Karma?
I said you probably think you're the best on this map as well.
Why do you think I think that?
Well, I mean, it seems to be a common theme in your commentary. Though maybe you're just
whose pick was this?
LSO's.
I mean, I would clap LSO, but you know.
Okay, so Sam is the next challenger. So Sam, I look forward to hearing the wager you're willing to put up. It will be matched, by at least myself, maybe my 2 co-sponsors, and you can participate in next week's Myth 2 1v1 hate match.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I think this is the future of Myth. This is how we keep this game alive.
Let's talk about it. These trades are the same boring ass shit. I like Adren's one soul, but Sam, how much money are you willing to wager on your ability to beat?
Well, first off, I need to be completely sober before I.
We're talking about a week from now, you fuck. Are you how drunk are you? Going to be drunk a week from now?
Yeah, I'm an alcoholic, dog.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
I'm done with Sam. Focus on the match. Clank, tell me what you see.
So what I'm seeing right here, Adren, he was talking about it earlier when he was giving this a little bit of a more unconventional approach. He's got the one Solus. I don't know if he's trying to get a little bit of a health advantage on the fetch with that, but he's about to waste it anyway. So yeah, so there goes that, and it's going to be a contest of who can run some Zerks at the other person, like every Gyre game is.
Adren needs to put some pressure on LSO right now, and he's not doing that at all. He's got this four melee just hanging out over here.
LSO told us multiple times this is his most comfortable map.
Which I have to say, this is one of the most different.
LSO's about to get clapped. 100%. I can tell right now.
They might be right here. This map does play differently. No other map do you have to be running melee at enemy opponents like this. I mean, it's pretty unique in that respect.
I think LSO recovered pretty well from that. He was in bad position, and
you guys just saw that what LSO probably thinks is his unique strategy is that he likes to send that side branch of melee off to fight the other person's melee. And then as soon as it starts to collapse on his fetch, he sends a couple of the melee at the opponent fetch. I think that's his little.
Here we go. Adren's gonna clap him here.
I don't.
Flag contested.
It's still too close for me to be able to tell.
I will give Adrenaline the benefit of the doubt. He is way sloppier right now than he normally is, for sure.
So you're about to see a couple good test shots on. Never mind, LSO's running. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, let's talk about it, guys. Adrenaline on the spot, was challenged in a 1v1 match. He then chose, on purpose to go smoke pot and get a refill on his booze, so as to maximize the pre-excuses. Will we give him a rematch? Of course we will. The viewers, they want to see it.
LSO's talking shit, dude. Do you see that in the game?
Dude, LSO's feeling it right now. I mean, he was a little bit
whispering
worried
right now. Is he whispering so that Adren can't see it?
Of course he is. Of course he is.
By all approximations, this is the height of LSO's mid career.
Oh, of course.
Right now, this instant. So,
yeah, dude, that guy's flying fucking high right now, for sure.
Like what Adren was talking about earlier, you're seeing the benefit of spiders on this map, and that they're very quick to defend.
Adren needed to fucking be more aggressive. LSO's gonna win now.
Yeah, and fair point. I appreciated Adren, his feedback. I thought it was hilarious that he knew Jarrell's strat. I also think it's spiders are not for flanking, which I don't play 1v1, so I wouldn't know. So that was great feedback. I think Adren was, honestly, he contributed. He was very solid as a, unit trade.
Here we go. Slap those. Yes, nice.
Wow.
Huge. You gotta get
I think you have a favorite here.
I think we all have a favorite here, but I mean, that's coming from Clank, which is saying something.
My opinion is like 50-50.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh,
This is
that's
a game. It's
big.
a ball game.
That's a game. Adren wins.
Not necessarily.
Nah, Adren wins. It's over.
A lot of bold predictions this match that haven't come true.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like just like a flippant thing to say. This is a pretty even match. Several things can happen here.
Well, that was a big fetch shot that got blocked by the Aaron.
I will say this is one of the most tit for tat Geyer games I've ever seen.
This has been a great game.
I agree.
I still think that Adren takes it, and I think he has the clear advantage right now.
He's got the hair on for it, that's for sure.
5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, I mean, Adrenaline is certainly favored to win.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah,
stupid.
That's the end of the game. Especially because there's a root behind him. And granted, Elso's played a shit ton of games, but he should have backed up to get that root.
Shoot, Adren. Jesus. What the fuck are you doing, Adren?
It doesn't matter.
I mean, that's game.
He's got the wrong health.
But
That is a close
also
game.
made it close.
Yeah, down to 1 unit.
This is the closest Geyer game I think I've ever seen.
I mean, this was certainly closer than any of the games in the main event.
Absolutely, without question. Well, it lives on. Game 5, everybody.
Yeah, good game. For both
Adren,
players.
so happy after a game. This is, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Seeker, yes, if you're in the fucking Discord chat, I would welcome some.
Dude, I am in the fucking Discord chat.
Great,
I have
take it
been
away.
waiting- I have been
Speak
waiting.
your mind, boy.
I've been waiting for like 12 fucking games for like an actual good game, man. Most of these games have been like me versus TB 1v1. They've been terrible.
Thank you.
Finally, we had like one fucking amazing game. I mean, that's a little overhyping, but you know, considering what I watched up till now, I think it's accurate.
It's accurate. Geyer never comes down to one melee unit versus one melee unit like ever.
Never. It never does. I mean, usually it's just some idiot like me who does a lucky slut rush and somehow wins.
Correct.
Seeker, you sound so black to me. I can't even get over it.
Dude,
like, again, I don't know who let Sam join. The mistake won't happen again. Seeker, you've been waiting a lot of games. You know, like what have you been waiting for? What do you got to bring to the table here?
dude, all I gotta bring to the table here is just unmatched fucking hype. I mean, you guys are all like pretty like, you know, solid, you know, pretty like professional, but you don't have that WWE energy. When you had it here for like Paris, he fucking blew it, man. Like he was like all over the place. He didn't like hone his energy in. And you know, we haven't had that sort of like wild card here, you know, was just doing some ridiculous shit, saying some ridiculous bullshit. The rest of you can be like, what the fuck is the guy? What the fuck is this guy on? But you know, it's okay. It's okay. Like he's straddling the line. That's what I'm bringing to the table right now.
So
just fucking bullshit and hype.
So like what I'm hearing is that like your target core audience is like the 14 to 16-year-old Fortnite fan.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So like LSO right now, LSO's jumping up and down in his chair, like fucking finally. We got a hype boy in the house, Seeker's here, like it's fair.
Fuck yeah. That's what I'm here for, man. You know.
Okay, so Seeker, I would like you to stick around, and I would like you to do a unit trade analysis for this next game. And then Clank keeps complaining I'm taking games off. And I'm getting DMs all over the place. It's gone downhill since I stopped calling. So I'm going to call this last game with Clank, and then I'm out, and somebody else can host. So let's do this. Let me update the score. It's 1. What is the score of this? 2-2?
Yeah.
2-2, yeah. This
I
is the
just want
last
to point
game,
out.
man.
I
It's the
just want
last
to point
game.
out that Thierry thought that I was Sam, and he said that I was an idiot, and so I had to clear my name in the chat.
Well, as I said, you know, we're changing the password Sam, sorry, brother. We love you, but you may not get it next time.
Terry was like, "This guy is an idiot," and I was like, "I'm giving the most in-depth analysis possible here." And he's like, "Were you the one saying that LSO was going to get clapped?" And I was like, "No, that's
That's the guy that wasn't invited and is commentating anyway. You know, it is what it is. He put up no money. We don't know why he's here.
Are you guys really putting up money?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're funding this, Sam.
Oh, well, Thierry just hates me because I clapped him in a 1v1 7-2. So
the highlight of I was gonna say myth career. It might be life. I'm not sure. Hard to tell. We'll come back to that later. Okay, Seeker. Talk to me about these trades. What do you see?
Dude, I haven't seen shit, man, because I'm on Adrenaline's team.
Okay, Seeker. We thank you for your contribution.
Seeker is exactly what I expected Seeker to be.
Yeah, he came through as expected. All right, so very similar trades here. Adren is being a little bit more aggressive. He's got 5 goals, and it's goals. It's not fucking gals, you retards. We are going for a stat bus. Sorry, what's that?
Goals.
No, that's not goals. Anyway, stop distracting me. He's going to go for a stat plus play here. I do like the decoy goals here in general because against a player like me, I like to get rid of my pus as quickly as possible through counter pus or be aggressive with it. LSO is a pretty passive player. It's probably not going to work for him. So I would say just based off trades, and Clank, love your take here. I'm thinking LSO wins this. What do you think?
So you actually bring up a big point that I kind of have been wanting to expound upon tonight. And that's when I left, counterpussing was not nearly as big as it is now, but it's clearly a big part of the game now. So it's something that I've had to start considering adding to my game a little bit more than I used to. And so you see right there, right on cue, you see a counterpuss. Adren thinks that he knows that that's one of the goals that has the big puss. We'll see if he's right on that, if he can kill it.
He's really setting this up, though. I admire what Adren did there. Yeah, it looked like that was a bad puss play, and it kind of was. But what he really wanted is LSO to clump. LSO's been used to playing against a Thierry who's sitting in just an empty puss goal as a distraction.
Now,
it's still a pretty even game.
No, the question is, did Adren see him drop satchels and pick him up? Did he know that he was trying to sat puss?
I mean, Adren did the sat puss, so yes, he saw.
I'm sorry, I didn't see that Adren threw it.
Oh, wow. Okay, both dwarfs down. So, super even
mistake.
game.
I thought the LSO's goal that got killed was carrying the sat. That's my fault.
It's all good, bro. We're way past it. We're moving on. We're just in the flow of the game. Very even here. Slight advantage to Adren. He's healing his warriors. LSO does have one more archer, and they're very healthy. So Adren needs to fight.
No, I think this is game over.
I think LSO's got it, yeah.
Well, no. Shit.
No, LSO wins. This is over.
Yeah. You know, Adren, with the amount of damage he did with that pus, I mean, there's really no excuse for this.
I think he got too aggressive there. He had the advantage, and then he just rushed in with the warriors and picked off by the archer.
Yeah, I think that's true. It's tempting, right? You get a good sat puss off, like you're feeling it, right? You think you're going to kill him, and sometimes that just doesn't happen. Anyway.
There has been a request for Sam versus Free. Multiple people clamoring for it.
Look, if Thierry will play a best of 3 versus Sam on host.
I think Thierry needs to go straight to LSO right now. Like, LSO's earned the right. He's just tearing 3 people right now.
Our team already has the 4 best 1v1 players of all time. Ours and I have been playing LSO on TCP IP games.
Ours is a 3-baller, man. It's a 3-baller.
I'm actually the only one to defeat LSO today.
Okay.
2 games to 1.
Ours wants me to stop the stream to save it. I don't really know what that means. I'm gonna pause it. I don't know if that saves it. I don't know. Ours I tried. I'm gonna hit stop.